My channel's a geezer channel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You got a bunch of geezers watching me. My channel's a geezer channel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You got a bunch of geezers watching me.
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry maggot. Well, I mean, you know what that is. No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry maggot. Well, I mean, you know what that is. I said, I wish I could have that dry maggot. Well, I mean, you know what that is. No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry maggot. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Let me stop the music. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for patiently waiting. Hi. Happy snow day. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody is being safe. This is Ray, otherwise known as Life and Vibe, or Life and Vibe, otherwise known as Ray. I don't even think I know what my name is at the moment. So sorry to keep changing the times and stuff. I have been struggling with a fence outside all day. So if you can hit the likes coming in, I really do appreciate that, because that's going to tell people that I'm back here again. And we're talking about Sarasota Tim. And I wish I was talking about somebody different, but he just popped out like 4 videos this morning. So he's obviously freezing his butt off inside the RV, and it's warmer for him to get outside. So I think we're just going to start dropping into content. After this, though, if you are a member of the Good Life community, we are going to go straight into a live on the just for the members. It's going to be a separate live from this one. That's why I kind of set it up and then put it private. I didn't know how long this live was going to take. So if you feel really like you want to find out more about the stuff that I've been doing behind the scenes and a little bit more about Teddy and Jolene, and not Tim Reacts, so a little bit different type content, then pop on over. And if not, and you're still a member, and you just want to, take a look at it later on, you can. All right. Well, I'm going to make sure that we get everybody's comments. Hi, everybody. A lot of you, I just saw you yesterday. How much snow did you get? I didn't get, I got maybe 2 or 3 inches. It wasn't that bad. I hear in the Outer Banks, they may have like 2 feet of snow. I haven't even really had a chance to put on the news. I've literally just been running up and down my stairs trying to fix this fence that it's just been a nightmare. And every time I fix it, it stays fixed for like an hour. And then I open up my door and it's blown over again. So if I suddenly jump up, it's because I need to check. And I can't have my phone on to look at my Ring camera because my computer wants to default my dang phone as a microphone. And if I disconnect from it, it then makes the MacBook Air the default microphone, and it skips over this Yeti Nano despite it being plugged in. So Apple's a nightmare sometimes. But I will be giving away, if I'm able to, because I haven't even checked my Nightbot yet, 5 Good Life memberships. So anyway, let me bring up Tim, because I need to go check my fence. I'm getting all sorts of antsy over here, guys. It has been a nightmare. You don't know. So if you like this stream, that's a donation to the fence fund, because unfortunately, and I'm hoping for a good tax refund in order to do it, because last year's fence fund went to Junebug's sudden cancer diagnoses. So that obviously was the priority. So just being, pet owners, I choose to have my dogs, obviously. And if I could, I would do like the Asher House and just get a massive Kickstarter going and get rid of this condo and this fence issue and get a van and then get the big house with the dog shelter, and just take that on as my full-time job rather than doing whatever this is today. Because Junebug and Roscoe have been very stressed out about me having to go up and down the stairs so much today. And obviously they are limited. Though they love playing outside in the snow, we are limited with the amount of time with their paws, because Roscoe really feels it on his paws. He really feels it. So anyway, that's enough about me and my fence. I'm going to be enjoying my green goddess glow up with a little bit of fizzy in it. So I hope everybody is being safe, because especially through North Carolina and everything. Thank you, Sammy, for being here, and all of you for being here. I know I'm feeling distracted because I really want to check on my fence. Let's just bring Sarasota Tim up real fast, because I can't leave in the middle. But God, I'm telling you, this thing is going to take my neighbors, because I have a neighbor's fence attached to it. Oh, and literally they took away all the vegetation that was like down this strip of land that we have between the condos that's just grass now. So we got nothing breaking it up. And we're on the coast, and it's just a wind tunnel. And all the bushes and everything that we used to have protecting our fences, they took all that stuff down and put these bushes that died in front of it. So like anything that was like protecting my fence at any point is gone. So it's now just open to the elements, and it's going to cost me thousands because I have, all right, this is my last gripe. Because my neighbor just has to do a gate in the fence. I have two sides of a fence, an entire stairs with two landings that need to be done, and obviously the gate, and I need a balcony. So mine to his is, and we need to probably redo the shed. So it's just, let's pray, to the gods of tax, because I have so many additional things with business expenses with this channel the past year, and obviously charitable things that we did as a community that I'm able to do that. Oh gosh, anyway, let me just not talk about it. I feel tired. I'm tired. Tim is just out here. So we looked at his evening chat last night. So yeah, just make sure to like us, this guy. Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, Roscoe. Yeah, Roscoe. Animal cancer. Well, we got it very early, luckily. Thankfully. That's the good thing about going regularly to the vet, and the vet caught it. So we didn't have to do too much, but just the removal and then finding out that it was a cancer probably was part of my fence. Was pretty much a good deposit on that fence outside. Oh, God. Okay. All right, I'm just going to bring up Tim's morning chat where he's playing. Hold on, Tim. I'm going to put him at 1.5, and then I got to go look outside because I've got to. He's in the camper. It can't be that cold. He's not wearing a sweater. If you were that cold, Tim, I promise you would have your jacket on inside of here. So, Tim just sad fishing. All right, take it away, Timmy.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. Welcome to morning chat here in Sarasota, Bradenton, where it's 20 degrees, 25 degrees, same crap. What's the difference, right? 0, frozen. That's with the windshield. I think it's actually, 35 or something like that. Darn cold. Let's make some coffee. I already had one cup this morning. It was left over. I'm going to pour in a couple of bottles here. And hopefully this will not be too much water. I'm trying to remember my mix. I got something delivered this morning. I ordered last night at 7:04 a.m. from Amazon. Out crushing it in 20-degree weather. That's pretty amazing. I'll show you what it is in a minute. It costs $25, and if you don't have one, you need one. You definitely do. All right, we're going to go with Bob and Kathy's coffee this morning. 1, 2, 3, and a little to grow on. And that should do it with 2 bottles of water. Work. All right. I need something fast. Let's go. Cook. All right. So here's what I bought. I was naked for one of these. All the ones I had are USB-A. That's the bigger hole. This is a USB-C. It takes the new universal connection. And this is called an anchor. It's a very small, compact brick. You can travel with it, pull that out. It's got a nice little kind of a core. It's not smooth anymore. It's nice, ribbed like side there. Anchor, baby. 45-watt charging. That's the most any phone will take. So don't buy.
No, that was a really positive start to the Crushing It for Christ series on a Sunday. I guess he was using a C word, hey? Just setting the tone for how he's feeling. I think it's a sad fish, though, guys. Don't send in any money. Send me money instead.
Mickey stuff that says 100 watt, 250 watt. A lot of them do promote 100 watt or something like that. The most your iPhone is going to accept is 45 watts. But this will give you 45 watts. And it came with this very, very nice length. Not too long, but a very nice length. USB-C to C. So if you have an Android, Android's been using C forever. And then iPhone was using what they call a lightning port. And now they are using C as well. I had 41% battery. Wow. I plugged it into my phone. And
sorry to keep disappearing. Good news is the fence this time so far is held up for at least Well, I fixed it at 225 again. So far it's stood up the extremely strong winds that we have. I mean, we have we are famous on the coast here. I think it's almost like a nor'easter almost that's blowing through. So this fence is tiring me out. Oh my God. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, keep going, Tim. Unlike Tim, he would just have it, hanging down and, not caring probably if he took his neighbors down with it. Me, on the other hand, I've spent since about 6 o'clock this morning dealing with this fence all morning.
I fiddled around, I don't know, in there in the bathroom, freshening up a little bit. I came out, it was like 5-10 minutes later. That's all. Maybe not even 10 minutes. It said 75% from 41%. So you want power? That's the real power. I love it. Let me plug it back in. I'm not going to plug my phone in, but I'll plug it in the wall where I leave it while this coffee brews.
Oh, yeah. They have I think they are trying to make it, and I don't think Tim maybe is not aware that there is a standard that kind of was set in Europe to try to stop, because somebody was telling me about this because I was so frustrated. I think this is on this channel. So frustrated because everything nowadays that's a small electronic appliance doesn't come with a plug. I had something from IKEA. I mean, it didn't even come with the screws to hang it on the wall. It's like, you gave me brackets and no screws. You just assume I have screws in the house. It just blows me away. Stuff that isn't in things nowadays. I kind of need that to stick it on the wall. Thank you. But anyway, I had to get a whole entire little box to put on my countertop to house the enormous numbers of wires and cords and plugs and just all the ones for the Ring camera, the plug that goes to the little, speaker, because, everything is wireless and you have to constantly remember to recharge stuff. Oh my God, just everything is just constantly having to be recharged. It's just, it just adds a layer of more stuff to manage. So you've got to have whole docking stations now created in the home that can be aesthetically pleasing, but will charge just all of this wireless stuff that you could be using suddenly, and it's just gonna go out on you. You wish you had a fenced-in backyard? Well, I'm on the second floor of a condo, but what it is it's just an upstairs downstairs unit, and I have the upstairs, which does have this patioed area, and it does have stairs and so forth, coming up. So at least it has its own private entrance, and it does have an area. So I can't complain about that. I do have, so at least I can get outside. I can wash the dogs and stuff. But I have the one with all the fencing around it and all the stairs and stuff. So it's just a layer of additional expense on the property that I've been staring at for years. And it's just, like I said, it's always the one that gets kind of kicked down the road. But like I said, let's hope. I'm going to start trying to hopefully find time and energy between work and YouTube to do my taxes. Okay. Take it away, Tim.
We'll put some eye drops in.
Okay. Oh, not the eye drops. Here we go. Performative.
I've got my long handles on, bottoms and tops. Wearing my Kawasaki garage shirt that I got over there at the dealership, and some what do you call them? Some tactical style pants.
Hold on, I'm going to show you my solution.
White long socks. So I wanted to wear the Merrills in case I want to walk. One of you told me, just go to the gym and get on the treadmill and walk. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bundle up and go walk outside, maybe in just another hour or so, because I hate walking on those treadmills. I can't take it.
Walking on treadmills.
Not for no hour.
Well, I don't blame you, Tim. I'm not a fan of a treadmill.
Walking on your own, you're pushing off. You're pushing.
But Tim, we kind of figured out you didn't really work out at the gym, and you kind of give yourself away in one of these videos we're going to watch, because you popped out 4 classics this morning. Tim, and also your breathlessness when you exercise with Jolene, it was also indicative of that. I'm sorry, I keep disappearing because I keep checking the fence. So, but also just to show Anne, I picked this up very cheaply at IKEA, and this is my solution for all of my cords that I have. Is this box? Am I on the camera? I can't see. It's this box with the lid. I got and then I can store literally everything inside of here. And then it's got the lid so I can actually figure out what am I charging, and then I can put it on top of the thing charging, and then I can put it, and it matches my tiles and stuff. So that was my solution, Anne. Because I haven't seen anything else that really hid it away. And, it still takes time and effort, but at least it seems to keep it somewhat more organized, because I have all these things like the special little key to open up the Ring camera, because I chose just the battery operated, because I didn't want to have to deal with trying to wire it all in here at the condos. Oh, yeah. Home ownership. Technology blues.
Rather than just keeping up with a belt coming underneath your feet that it's pulling you. Is that real exercise? I don't know. So these are not this one. Is that them? Hang on. Where is my bromamidine? This better be it. This looks like a different colored bottle. No.
Trying to figure out which ones are the purple lidded. So Tim is so performative doing his eye drops with his hands. Like, it was a couple of minutes. It's like, I would not recommend just putting eye drops in. I think anybody would understand that while you are touching other stuff in your home, or just not having just washed your hands or anything of that nature. That's just really not good. Oh, the fence fun. Thank you, Thomas Winter. I appreciate that. God, actually, who appreciates that more? My long-suffering neighbor, who's been my neighbor the entire time that I've lived here. So he and I have been neighbors for over 20-some years. And he puts up with me. And that needs a medal and an award. But thank you for that. And just liking, commenting, and subscribing, you all being here with me this Sunday and last night and everything helps along too. But thank you. That made me blush. This fence is a nightmare. I promise you. We got some good tax write-offs this year. And and those of you who are members who stay for the members only part coming up, part 2, then you'll find out. Maybe Tim can help with that. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is terrible. Why is he reading these online? I mean, I guess, so supposedly these are the purple. Okay. Because they have those like a red, there's a yellow. I bet you anything, actually. Because I don't know which specifically he has, because I do have a drug handbook. Let me see. Purple. Let him keep playing while I find out which exact medication, because I'm curious to which type of glaucoma does he have. And then he talked about the refills and he got it free. I don't know. Help me listen, people. All right, keep going, Tim.
Yeah, look at that. The exact same color cap as the Lumify eye drops you can buy over the counter at Walmart. The previous bromamidine says it right there.
Okay.
Whatever. Has the exact, it was a different color yesterday, the bottle I threw away.
Here you go.
Well, whatever. It's gone.
Well, that's not good, Tim, because they all have different meanings.
Must have used that last night.
Tim, stopping you there, mate. All right. Yes, that's fine. Okay. All right. Okay. No, I don't need to. Really? Why do I? It's for Pinterest? Okay. Let me just do this. Oh, my goodness. It's a Pinterest. I'm not dealing with Pinterest. Okay. How is that a Pinterest thing? All right. So, let me try to get over to here. Trying to get recognizing eye bottles. Here we go. Let's just do the. Here, you know your drops by color. Let's just go to the American College of Ophthalmology. And I'm very excited because I'm waiting for a free piece of equipment from Cox to hopefully give me better. Okay, let me show this. Okay, we're going to show this tab instead. Okay, so of course, we don't have pretty pictures of bottles here. So why not I have the purple one here? Is this purple? Here we go. So the only one I see that's purple is bromidine, but Tim was saying it what? I don't know if Tim's got this right, guys. Let's look at the eye color chart here. Here we go. Okay, so this is better. I mean, I can figure that one out, but it's not going to be fun for all of us to look at. Okay, eye color drops are something that has always confused beginning ophthalmology residents. Okay, oh goodness. Okay, so if it's red, and I'll make sure I link this down. I'll make sure I keep on here because this is interesting to know. He's too stupid to wear glasses. Hey, I promise you, I already decided I'm going to get the sort of mid-range VSP plan, I got to go see. Okay. So that's if it's dilating, it's red. Okay. If it's this blue, it's combined with timolol, which is, okay, interesting because that's going to do, okay. So that's dorsolamide and timolol, cospot or combogen. This is one I see quite frequently. Alphagen. Okay. So this is the purple one. It's not the same. It's what he's talking about. So if he's got a purple one in his hand, okay, what that indicates, it's actually bromidine, which is alphagen. And I believe he thought it was a dorsolamide. I think he was thinking it was he was referring it to something else. So let's go back to Tim because I don't think Tim knows what he's got in his hand. Let's. I have to hear because I was, thinking about obviously my fence probably for 2 seconds. Okay, let me see what he's talking about here. I got to go back just a second. All right, guys. All right, let me concentrate on what Tim doesn't understand about these eye drops. Right. Yeah, but Lumify eye drops over the counter, Tim, I don't think are the same as your bromidine purple alpha and agonist here. I don't believe so. This is alphagen. I don't know if it has if it's the same. Let me see if there's a over-the-counter version of this. Because I don't know if Tim is correct. I don't know. Over-the-counter version? Maybe there is. Here we go. Over-the-counter. Let's see. Okay, let's see this instead. Okay. All right, so an over-the-counter version, like there's a Lumify, bromidine, commonly known as the brand name Alphagen P, is a prescription-only medication. So this is a Lumify, which is a redness reliever, which has a purple one here. But if it's because the other ones, the Lumify, it has a lower strength of formulation, which is generally what tends to happen between the over-the-counter and what is the prescription strength. It's like getting a lidocaine patch or a lidocaine cream. Over the counter, you're going to get up to like 4% lidocaine, whereas prescription, you'll get 5. So, but they won't give you a 5 over the counter. So, Interesting. Okay. So that's not quite the same. Yeah. So it's not quite the same prescription strength. So I guess, I wonder if the pharmacist is really looking at his history. Probably not. So let's see what he's got going on. Oh, hold on. Oh, let me go back to this tab. Sorry, guys. All right.
Well, whatever.
Uh-oh.
It's gone. So must have used that last night thinking it was my last. Let's open this up.
Oh, God. So did Tim just go over to check his bin and then he rubs his eyes to check to see if the stuff is in the bin? Because I think the new one is the bromide. I think he's got the prescription now. Does he have the prescription now? I'm so confused. Tim confuses me.
Cold today, all day, tonight, tomorrow. Come on, man.
I know one of them wasn't right. Or
people
one
in Florida won't even go
wasn't
outside.
It's like the
I bet you can't buy a jacket at Walmart for 100 miles. Sold out. All right, I got this one open.
Mm-hmm.
It bums me out that it's the same color as my regular get the red out eye drops that really don't work. I just want to mistake and take these. Look, they're very similar in the whole thing.
Okay, Tim. All right. So Tim is got, this is the redness drops that he had before, which he's probably been really using to try to get rid of the redness. Hasn't realized that part of his prescription protocol here with the bromidine, and I'll get out my drug handbook in a second, is to this is a stronger strength of this exact same medication, but it's just this is a different strength of it, Tim. This is the prescribed version because you need to have a written prescription because they want to make sure that you're following the prescriptions for it. Which is different from the Lumify, which is the same medication, just at a different strength. The strength is different, Tim. So that's potentially what you're seeing there is the difference. So it's the same medication, Tim. You're just looking at a generic and a brand name, and potentially with different strengths. That's kind of what's happening, Tim. Because it seems like when it's prescription, it's a 0.2%. And then when it's a Lumify, it's at a 0.1%. So sometimes I think they might be. And it's for lowering, it says it right here. Let's get over to the page of the Good RX. Hold on. That's the Lumify. And it can help you with, here's the alpha again. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry, guys. So this is it. Generic Alphagen P, used for eye pressure, glaucoma, and rosacea. Because I guess the Alphagen P bromidine is a prescription eye drop that they roll off the tongue always. Eye drop that helps lower pressure in the eye and treats glaucoma. It's typically applied 3 times a day. Some common side effects include blurry vision, slight stinging in the eyes, and headaches, which is great with caffeine. Alphagen P bromidine is available as both a brand name and a generic medication. So brand is Alphagen P, generic bromidine. So there we go. And it's for open angle glaucoma. So Tim has open angle glaucoma. And you can use the Lumify, which is the same, but that is an over-the-counter that helps treat red eye. It contains a lower dose of bromidine than the prescription medication used to treat glaucoma. And the Lumify doesn't cause a lot of side effects and starts to work quickly within 1 minute. Whereas the other one we talked about did have side effects, even though it's for red eye. Oh, it's to treat red eye from minor irritation. And it just narrows the blood vessels. It's an alpha 2 agonist eye drop. Interesting. Okay. So he hasn't quite understood what he's got in his hand. And then, of course, he's going to put them in with his little dirty paws, too. Tim. All right. We'll go back to Tim.
When I'm supposed to be taking my medicine, I'll just leave. I'll leave these out.
Oh, great.
There you
Just cough over.
You stay over there. I'll put these on your mic.
You know, that's what I just want to see. I want to see him cough. I want to see him rub his nose. I'm glad that he went to look at for the other bottles in the trash can, because that was helpful. And then he still hasn't washed them. Not even put a little bit of hand sanitizer on. Nothing. Nothing. You're going to touch his eyes. You see my face. That's all I need to say.
I take 3 eye drops. Oh, don't go too crazy. I want you to drop, Baker.
Oh, God.
I was reading comments this morning.
Oh, my God.
One of you.
You know, if you're going to put an eye drop in, I recommend, and I'm not going to do anything because I've been, I'm not going to touch my eyes because I've been touching other stuff. But you need to try to look up, lower the lower lid of your eye somewhat, and try to drop it, somewhat into the actual, drop it. Don't drop it into the troughs and stuff like that. You actually want to try to really put it over the lens of the eyeball. People always want to stick it in everywhere because it's a very weird sensation. But you do kind of want to open up that eye. You want to just let it go right onto the eyeball. Your best bet. I don't think these things that constrict to dilate their blood vessels. Well, I mean, it's a lower dose of that particular medication, and depending on the type of glaucoma that you have, obviously that bromonidine at a higher strength is used to treat glaucoma. So just the one that he's using is not really doing anything to benefit him. It's something that obviously your ophthalmologist is going to let you know. But there's different types of drops. As you can see from the eye drop color chart, there's all different types, depending on the type of, if you have open angle, or I think they call it narrow angle now. They've changed the terms. It used to be wide and then something else. I think it's always been narrow. They might have a different. Depends on what the types of drops you're going to get, because glaucoma is actually a sort of blanket term for a number of different eye diseases. It's not specifically just one type. It kind of covers a number of diseases of the eye. That
said,
Tim needs to.
That you've been following me ever since I watched one of your videos, Cruise, and told you, hey, just a suggestion.
Oh, well, see, that's always great, too. You know what Tim just did? He probably just rubbed all of that medication out of his eye with that handkerchief. And so instead of him doing what he should do, which is have clean hands, sit in a chair, sit back, put the eye drop in, set a timer maybe, shut his eye, shut down everything, Tim. Just shut down. And just let that medicate and lubricate his eye. No, he continues to talk into a video camera and then rub out the medication that he has with a handkerchief. I just think it's just out of control. Yeah. Well, I would just make sure that they follow whatever their ophthalmologist advises. And I would certainly I would certainly look at the back of a packet or make sure that you know what you should or should not take. Bromonidine is obviously used to treat glaucoma. So that is one of the medications that they use. So like I said, I'm not sure. We know that he's got one of those prescribed, and he obviously therefore has open angle. I mean, he probably has another one.
And landscape, not
Maybe
portrait. And I was trying to be constructive. I didn't want to be rude. And you did, and you've been watching my channel ever since. You just checked in last night. I think that's really cool. Thank you very much for sticking around so long. Hey, that turns the ladies on.
I think the new purple one is the RX med. I think the one from before, he just used to treat red eye. I don't think that necessarily was a prescription. I think he just got something over the counter. I don't think he necessarily told anybody that he was. I think he just picked something up for red eye. I don't know if or maybe his ophthalmologist told him while he was out of town he could use that as something to use in the interim, that he could just get over the counter until he got back into town. That could have been potentially something that could happen. Tim's not going to tell us the truth. We don't know. Okay. We just know he was out without his drugs for days, and whatever he's doing, doesn't matter what he's doing now, because he's been ruining his protocol to take care of his eye for forever at a time. But this is used to treat open angle glaucoma. Like I said, my med book's sitting over there. I don't think anybody wants me just sitting out suddenly and pulling out the drug book. Okay, let's just keep on with the reacts, everybody.
Hey, it's in the morning.
Oh,
I'm taking care of my
thank
emotions.
you, Sammy.
I told that to Jolene the other day. She said, "You're what?" I got it from a John Wayne movie, True Grit. Catherine
Oh,
Hepburn.
Sammy, that's so sweet. Because we're gonna hopefully have a good live after this. Let me get into Nightbot and find out exactly who won them, and I'll just let Kim keep talking. Thank you, Sammy. That's so sweet. You're such a great supporter of the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Stream and freshen up before they started riding that day, and they were arguing a little bit. And she said, "Well, I'll just take care of my ablutions." So I had to look it up. I guess it means your morning rituals. You know what I mean? So anyway,
it's your morning toileting, and face cleaning generally, like what you do to clean your face and your teeth and do your little toiletries, that type of stuff, Tim. It's a very old-fashioned word, but Tim, of course, picks that up. Okay, so let me see who won. Congratulations, Texman 2. I'm so excited you got that. LD Hawthorne. All right now, 3653. Just Cody 85. I haven't seen Just Cody around in a while. And Kelly Loom 1. Oh, Kelly Loomis. I think I know those people. So thank you, Sammy. That was very sweet of you. And at some point in a little bit, I'm going to gift out some memberships too. So thank you. All right, keep going, Tim.
What's on the agenda today? I don't know. Hot coffee all day? Probably. I've got a steak here. Oh, yeah. A ribeye and prime that I will absolutely be enjoying. Put a little more cream in this coffee. Get ready to nuke it as soon as possible. Man, cold. Oh, I got this garage shirt, and I'm going to have Miss Jolene taper it. It would fit great. Let me show you.
Why are you giving Miss... Oh, gosh. You know what, Tim? Just leave it. You're going to want to return it at some point anyway. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go, Tim. Just let it go. I don't know why I don't have that bromonide. It must not be a commonly used drug. At least for my med book here. For my med codes. For the quick ones. I'm going to have to get the handbook out to find out more about that drug. Tim, just leave it. You need the room for the belly.
It would fit great.
Stop giving Jolene stuff to do. She's not your spouse.
This is got my rotator cuff. I was hoping it would shrink a little more. I think a small would be too. It's funny. You buy larges and they're too small. You buy larges, they're just right. But if I could get this tapered in just a little bit, it's still long though. That's the problem. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I got it now. Work. Let's go. So yeah, back here, the bike and the winds. I tied it down. The winds finally.
I know about the winds, Tim. Keep going. I have to check my fence again. Talking of winds, because I hear it whistling. All right, Tim. I'm glad you're doing well, but obviously he's not that comfortable in the RV because he does a lot. I almost feel like it must be warmer outside than within the RV because he does so much filming outside today. With just so many treats of him in the car. But he wasn't very crushing it for Christ this morning, Tim.
Finally died down. They never got as bad as they said. My neighbor was even telling me that, I don't know where you're getting your weather from, but I read that on my own weather app, that 50-mile-an-hour gusts are possible with 30 and 40-mile-an-hour winds. And to be honest with you, we might have had 141 every now and then, and it wasn't even any sustained wind. It was sort of like calm and then some wind. It was definitely wind, but nothing was blowing the camp around. Then you would get these gusts, but it wasn't 50 miles an hour. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cheat and pour it out there. Look at that color. That's gold, baby. That is gold. But of course,
Sorry
you got
for
to
the
microwave that. That's way too cold. Oh, gold. Have you seen the price of gold? Oh,
God must be in my favor at the moment because my fence is staying up. Maybe the winds have finally died down. Oh my goodness. Just keep having to check because just the whole thing is feet of it topple. I'm glad that I'm still able to get out and move stuff around the way I can. And the dogs get very stressed out though because keep walking it out with a hammer.
my God. People are
Like a
making
serial
bank on that.
killer.
And silver.
Oh,
Everybody's making money.
I
Stock
know.
market, gold, silver, the real estate. You can't sell your house. So if you do, you got to buy something else, and it's expensive, and nobody can buy yours because it's too expensive, and they can't afford it, and they can't make the payments, and they don't qualify. The interest rates are too high, the HOA is too high, the insurance is too high, and you need a lot of work on it. So it's a mind deal. Your gold, your silver, unless you sell it, it's just sitting there as a mind deal too. Oh, folks, that is good. That is perfect temperature right there.
I mean, Tim, I understand. I'm in the midst of, having the nightmare of property ownership today. That's, not making my, snow day any, like that's less stressful. But, it's just, but there comes obviously some benefits too. So it's like with everything, there are pros and cons. But and maybe when people move into retirement at some point, owning a home and having to be responsible for a lot of stuff isn't necessarily the greatest plan. But you're still kind of, I think, a little bit away from what that age would necessarily be. I don't know, Tim. You keep living your truth.
Oh man, that's the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. Man, that's good coffee. I love it. It's my second cup this morning. I need it. My eye needs it. So I may never get under my covers again. The whole time I was at.
Tim, you don't care about your eye. I mean, you don't know what you think you're looking at two purple tops. Well, yeah, they're both the same brominide. One's just a different strength from the other. One's used at a higher strength concentrate to treat glaucoma, and the other is used just to treat red eye. If you listen to your, or if, you looked at the inserts that came with stuff, maybe you would have worked that out.
Furnace just kicked on. We don't need no stinking furnace. Not with all these long handles on. I tried it way down to like 65 and it still came on. That's how cold it is. But I may never sleep under my covers again. The whole time I was at Ted and Jolene's, I used my new 20-degree sleeping bag. It's pretty wide. It's 3
Well, that sounds like you're going to be not doing the greatest thing in the world, Tim, which is be able to make your bed in the morning.
feet wide. And you just get in there and you zip it up. Last night on the chair here, it was very cozy. I didn't have to run. It's a real saver on how much you're using in propane. I mean, this thing kicked on right now. The furnace, I've got it down to like, that's how cold it is out there. It literally kicked on. I got it down to 65. Like, that's pretty low. Normally I want to keep it around the 70 to bump on. Don't need the fireplace, the space heater I'm not using. That sucks up electricity. You just put you some damn clothes on. That's all I can tell you. My daughter's up this morning and she's texting me right now. She's up there having her coffee and freezing to death, talking about her drone. She likes that drone she got. And she likes playing with it.
Well, can we see some of her footage? It might be more interesting than yours, Tim. Gosh, this is a hard drug to find. Keep going, Tim.
People tell me I should get one for the YouTube
Her stuff
channel.
might
I
be
had
more
one. I
interesting.
sent it back. I couldn't see it. By the time I did see it and figured it out on my phone or the controller I'm holding, the battery was dead. So then you got to spend a fortune. That's what's expensive, is those batteries. So if you don't have a bank of batteries, know what you're doing, and spend a lot of money for one now that doesn't run into things, and spend like $500 to $1,000 somewhere in between there. That's like the minimum, quality one today. Those few $100 ones are like toys. You can spend $2,000. Yeah. So I don't need to get into that. I've already got enough expenses with these motorcycles. I was thinking last night, I wish I could hurry up and use my motorcycle so I could feel like, it's justified.
Oh, I bet he's hating it since. Sorry, I'm trying to find this medication. It seems impossible. It must be in a certain section of this book. Oh, here it is. Brilliant. It's Tim. You made the choice to buy it in the wintertime. You knew better.
Liable for spending this money buying it. So far, I just bought accessories for them. They sit there, both of them. The Gold Wing, I ran it over to Fred and Rafaela's. Well, I did go over to Ted and Jolene's with it. That was a little trip. That was fun. That was good. I got a big nail in the tire on the way home. But that dirt bike is what I'm waiting on. And I kind of pulled away from watching all the YouTube videos about dirt bike riding since I was over there, because they don't have any interest in that. We were watching other things and doing other things. So last night, I just sat here on my phone. I got addicted to scrolling, looking at my phone with the TV right here of shorts, just different things. This one young Australian boy, he can play the guitar and he does all these covers. That's singing the original artist, playing the original artist songs. And he's really talented. I was watching some drummers. I was watching, I don't know, just different.
Tim is like all about the YouTube guys. All right. I found out a little bit more about his medication. It's used to reduce intraocular pressure in open-angle glaucoma or ocular hypertension. It says, which is great because, just think about how Tim inserted his eye drops. It clearly says, do not touch the dropper to eye or surrounding tissue. And he's like, so I said, you got to open up the eye and just like drop it on there. You don't want to actually, put the tip of that anywhere near your eyeball. You've got to be up a little bit, like an inch away or, a couple centimeters, drop it in. If more than one ophthalmic product is being used, give them at least 5 minutes support. And its action is ophthalmic form reduces aqueous humor production and increases uveosclera outflow. Topical form may reduce arrhythmia through direct vasoconstriction. So they obviously, if it's open angle glaucoma, if it's topical, it might end up taking out that redness, because it's going to directly vasoconstrict that area. There's all sorts of side effects like hypotension and stuff. Interesting. Well, of course. And then you shouldn't any considerations. Yes, you're supposed to monitor intraocular pressure because drug effect may reverse after first month of therapy. Well, maybe if you just stuck with it, Tim, you could do better. The redness, intermittent flushing, or pallor or excessive whitening, that's to the eye, may occur after topical application. It may resolve when therapy is discontinued. Avoid applying a gel. He doesn't have that. It says, tell patient to wait at least 15 minutes after instilling ophthalmic drug before wearing soft contact lenses. Caution patient to avoid hazardous activities because of risk of decrease mental alertness, fatigue, or drowsiness. Advise patient to avoid alcohol. Tell patient who's using more than one ophthalmic drug to apply them at least 5 minutes apart. Instruct patient how to apply topical form. Caution patient the topical form is for external use only and shouldn't be used orally, intravaginally, or in the eyes. So I guess there's a different type from what he's using. That might be the one that's for the rosacea. That's the rosacea version. I was like, what are they talking about? That's the rosacea version. Because there's one for rosacea and one for the eye. So that's for the there's certain ones for the eyes and certain ones for the rosacea. So yeah, those are the instructions for you, Tim. All right. Tim's not going to follow any of it. Keep going, Tim.
Things on shorts that they're addictive. It's like Tic Tac, but it's on YouTube. And you see one, you click on it, then you flip up. There's another one, then another one. And because they're only like 30 seconds to 3 minutes, you end up sitting there like, what's next? They mix some music with them. I was watching these professional baseball players, and they were giving bats and balls and stuff that they caught to the kids around the in the seats there that were sitting up in the front row. Really cool looking stuff. Just all kinds. There's so much stuff on YouTube. There's no reason to pay for cable TV, and there's really no reason to watch whatever
I
you're playing on
promise
that crap.
you.
When you've got such entertainment, just find your interest. Something will spark your interest, and that's more entertaining than listening to some negativity.
I guess there's a topical gel version. That's a totally different name, but yes, I would have to take a look at that again. It's seems like the topical is called persistent redness of rosacea. It's called Mirvaso, Mirvaso is the brand name. Apply a pea-size amount to 5 areas of face, central forehead, and then once daily. So it's topical. So your thin layer. Obviously, you don't put the open wounds, etc. So yeah, there's that one. So because it's going to vasoconstrict, so it's going to help with that. The rosacea redness. So this makes a redness in the probably for vasoconstrictive action, and it's got redness reducing properties. All right, keep going.
I'm not going to be in here, and my truck's going to be warm. I have auto start. The only thing is, I don't think it's on heat, but I get the engine heated up with my phone, and then get out there, and then we'll. What else? Something else is being delivered today that I'm going to return.
Gotta
It's got
lean
to do
back.
those handlebars again. I ordered 2 sets.
You gotta lean back, Brianna. You gotta kind of lower the eye, and you just gotta lower the lower eye lid, and you just gotta feel like you drop it right over your eye. You just gotta let it go. That's the trick. And you gotta just sit there and let it do it. You can't be busy and doing eye drops, It's not a multitasking activity, And then we're always I feel like I never can stay still. I have something going on. Like I'm walking out the door and I've got 2 dogs and I'm taking out the trash down the stairs at the same time. And I've got the car key in my hand. I'm locking the front door. And, it's like 50 things going on in my brain all at once. And then I see the fences come down. So it's just, everything goes on. But it's definitely one of those tasks. You just want to sit down, be still, and do it. Don't do the Tim. Tim is terrible. It's all sad fishing so he can get, it's performative. It's also for him to probably get coffee donations, whatever. And if he was, it's not something that you should be, unless you were really doing it correctly. And he just does it in such a poor manner. It's there for, showing you, don't do this. It's unhygienic.
Of these, not the handlebars, but the thing that goes in front of your hand. It's like a little shield. They're called bark busters, and it's just a green shield that keeps your hands from getting, things, brush, rocks, and things flying up from other bikes in front of you. I don't need it. Send it back. Now you're gonna unwrap it. You're gonna turn right around and ship it back.
Like I am. I have tea.
I'm done. I'm all done. Got to go out there and here I'll let you look out the door here. Let my heat out. There's a $400 seat right here that I didn't need. Let me show you the gold wing. It's strapped out there.
$400 seat. So, Junebug. Are you okay, sweetheart? I'm sorry. Every time Timmy come on, she gets so upset, man. I don't know if it's just I get upset with Timmy. She gets upset for me getting upset. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the energy is, Tim, that you make her get. He's talking about a $400 seat, but then he just complained about something that probably was about the drone. which might actually give us entertaining footage. Or the eye drops that he didn't want to spend money on, or the fact that he brought back the meat from Teddy and Jolene's house. I'm surprised that we didn't see the toilet paper. Maybe he just left that behind. Maybe he was embarrassed enough that time. Or maybe he just knew not to show that on camera. Cheap.
I got that cover on the seat and that towel because the cover it wouldn't fit really well. And they say you don't want to get that ultimate seat wet. Holy moly, it's cold out there. Look, sunshine, folks. It's burning off. Still going to be breezy today, but not windy.
So I wonder, did he leave, if it rained or something, did he leave Johnny's golf clubs out in the rain in the back of his truck? He doesn't care about them because he just stole them from somebody. And it's not my opinion. That's what the person who owned them told me, Tim.
Dry her down. Look, I'm going to blow my door open. I'm going to dry it down, wax on a little bit, make sure she's good and clean. And then I'll put the cover back on. Somebody was asking me, don't you have a cover? I'm like, yeah, but I took it off because it was blowing 30, 40 miles an hour out there. You don't want to tear the cover up. Plus, it makes it like a sail. So, yeah, this is my seat concepts. Brand new seat. $350. Sell for your tush. Well, I haven't even wrote it. And you stand up a lot when you're riding on trails. And mine has green on the side. It says Kawasaki. When I take it off and put the black one on there, it doesn't look as good. The bike doesn't look as good. I want to get rid of it. But
He's got, this is why I said he's got no sense at all. 67 years old, and he's, dropping eye drops of filthy paws in his eyes and talking about spending this amount of money and stood here with his car. What is this? This is just, I don't think is this just content? I don't know. Because it just doesn't make sense.
I'm not going to lose money, so maybe I'll put it on and use it sometime. What can you do?
Oh, of course it's not going to use
Live and learn, right?
Oh, he stands while he rides. Yeah, he stands while he rides.
I know one thing I'm going to do after I go walk at Nathan Benderson. That's stop by for a cup. And my good friends, Fred and Raffaella.
Oh.
I tried to text Teddy this morning. I guess he's all hugged up with Jolene under the covers because he's not even responding.
You know what, Tim? They just got rid of you as a guest. God, he's lonely, man. You can tell Tim lonely today because he put out a ton of videos. Let's keep going. We got a ton of reacts, Tim.
Coming out of that cottage. There's nowhere, that tiki hut. Oh, it's like 17 degrees there. I think it was supposed to be like that here too. I think I heard on Siri this morning that it was wind chill of 17 or 19 here. 19, 20, 25. It's the same thing. It's freezing. So enough about the weather. I digress. It will soon pass. You can't keep that heater down.
Oh my God.
He's gonna come back.
Okay. If you guys want to have a drink over the winter, anytime that Tim mentions the word digress, take a shot. I was trying to think of what the Tim drinking game would be. If you're stuck and it's cold inside or outside, or even inside, wherever you're cold. You don't even have to be cold if you just want to do a drinking game. Every video, if Tim mentions the word digress, you're going to have to take a shot. I'm going to drink a sip of my detox green glow. All right, Tim. Keep going.
We are in the Sunshine State. We do not deal with this ever. And when we do get cold snaps, it's not too bad, like 40s, and it's a couple of days. And it's kind of welcomed. Then it goes out of here. But this is brutal. So I got my long handles on. I'm starting to sweat a little bit with that coffee. I'm going to go out here and...
long handles. He does. He's such a character, not in a good way. Every time he has a new persona, it's accompanied with the required vernacular to go with it. So if he's out being, Tim Cup, then that's the one. He's out doing the Tim Reaper today, guys, too. But now he's got the long handles on. I can't with this person. He's just all show. Maybe it's me.
Unstrap the bike, put my stuff together, head to the park. I've got another jacket that I'm going to wear on top. I even have a thing that you wear over your head. I bought for the gold wing. So when you're traveling in cold air weather, all you have is a slit, you know, it goes over your head.
Yeah, okay. The travel that never happens in the gold wing and the cold weather, you just tied that thing down like it was the Titanic before it set sail from Southampton.
Put that on with a cap and walk. And I've got some gloves right here. I've got a couple of pair. They're just not real insulated, but it'll do. And then I'll crush it.
Oh no.
Hey.
Oh my goodness, guys, that was a wall ride. You don't drink. He's at 28.2 million views over there. Okay, let's get to the next part. Let's see if Tim had any good comments. Somebody just laughing over here 4 minutes ago. Oh, Robert's telling him to lay off the plastic. Get a puppy. Please don't do that to a dog. He can't. He's too selfish for a dog. Glad I canceled my Florida trip this year. I don't understand what happened to filling the coffee maker with water and smashing the pasta. Thomas, come on. And then people are telling him what the weather is. Okay. Use a black marker and put B on it. Oh, you're trying to let him know how to actually label his medications. Well, you see, Sandy, that's why he needs a Miss Jolene in his life, or a Miss Raphael. But Tim doesn't have the resources to do that. And we're going to show why in the members only. So if you want to see some really juicy stuff, I'm going to be going over all sorts of juicy things. You're going to have to be a member of the Good Life community, because we're going to go over legal stuff I've got going on. And all, you know, with Tim, it's got juicy. We also got, what else we going to be talking about? Oh, a little bit about, you know, why Tim isn't Teddy. All right, let's get to the next one. So if that doesn't persuade you guys to want to join the Good Life, I don't know what will, because I did all sorts of investigative work. So I found out some potentially interesting things about Teddy and Jolene that we will share. Okay, so here we go. Tim is, look at this. We've got a 20-minute video here, a 20 here, a less than 5 here. He's walking in the cold, you know, because he's going to get the 3 miles in. But, you know, it's a performative 5 minutes in the cold for Tim. 4 minutes. And then he decides to pop out as Social Security because he probably goes to the YouTube inspiration. And it probably tells him, because anybody who's a YouTube content creator, I don't know, it doesn't do it on the phone. But if you get to a laptop, and I know he does have a laptop, if he gets onto the laptop, he could go in and see like inspiration for content, because they, you know, they're always telling you, you know, things that your viewers watch and blah, blah, blah. So these sound like titles that they come up with, like an AI thing, not Tim. Tim is not coming up with, is collecting Social Security early in 2026 still a good idea? So Tim got that title from somewhere. Some AI helped him with that title. It wasn't, that's not Tim. That's not Tim. That doesn't have Tim's vernacular at all. Okay. All right, let's get over here. Let's make sure we speed him up. 1.5. God, he sounded so slow in the last one. Okay, so Tim is out and, you know, trying to spit. You know, Tim, I don't know how you've complained about your teeth recently. And you said you have no debt, but then you talk about the debt for the teeth. And then you talk about $400, all this money on a bike. But then anything that actually involves your physical self, you don't want to spend a dime on it. It astounds me about that. It's like your body is not going to stay perfect. And a lot of times we're not born perfect either. And so we do need to like do things in order to maintain ourselves into good health. It's not just a given. It takes, you know, effort and work, actually, you know? And I think Tim is just an example of somebody who just thinks that he should just, I don't know what it is. If it's just like what it is in the sort of respect that not having that understanding and sort of an acceptance in the fact that physically our bodies use things continuously, and therefore, like any good mechanical thing, the parts start to wear out after a while.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from inside the Crusher, heading over to the Lakewood Ranch area. I'm either going to walk in the mall or over at the park. It's 44 degrees, probably feels like 4 below zero. I don't know, 15-mile-an-hour wind out there. That's definitely enough to bring it down to freezing. Basically, it's freezing. That sums it up. I know, I got to get some new material. A friend of mine used to tell me that all the time, and I would say it back to him when we started repeating ourselves. He'd heard the story already 2 or 3 times, and you say, you got to get some new material.
Oh, God.
There's a fire truck going by.
I don't know what you say, Tim, because the other day you came out and you said, we're back to the old stuff again. We're back to the same titles, thumbnails, content. You said no more motorbikes. Tim, I got the memory. Shamefully, I need to be filling my head with other really important information. He's got all this stuff about this guy.
Too cold to burn. Somebody might have burned something inside their unit and caught the house on fire. That's what people do. Yeah. Man, put these gloves on. I'll drive with them. They're not insulated, but better than my skin being exposed. So started the bike up. It started right up. Disconnected all the tie-down straps. Straightened up the flagstaff. She's like a model again. Put the sleeping bag on the bed. I brought it in this morning to sit in the chair.
Well, that's good, Tim. It looked awesome. I'm amazed we didn't get a 20-minute or 30-minute tour of the flagstaff this morning. Please don't.
That's a wonderful, excellent hack. If you want to save on your heating bill, electric or propane, is get your damn sleeping bag when it's wide enough, not one of them mummy jobs, that you can sit in and zip that baby up. And works excellent. My daughter told me about it. And that 20-degree bag I got, which is really good down to 40.
I hope you're staying safe, Miss Vicky. Probably. Tim is, if you listen to Tim enough, you'll hear anybody's channel. It's something. He's gleaned something from somebody, But now all he got is YouTube. But promise you, he's not watching any hater channels. He hit the 3 dots.
Works pretty darn good. I don't want a freezing snow bag because it's going to be too hot for me. But I'm happy with that for $34.95 at Walmart. So having a little Diet Coke. I was thinking about my diet. Play on words there. This morning.
So here we go. This is classic Vlog stuff. Driving to the park, chatting about my diet. He's like, he and Foodie Beauty could be sharing the same title people or whatever. So like hanging out, eating. I actually try to give some effort. Maybe I shouldn't. She's like, these guys, low effort. So Tim is Miss Vicky. You're gonna love this part. If you haven't, I'm sure you might have heard it already, but Tim has finally come to the realization that maybe his commitment to the carnivore diet is as strong as he thought originally.
Phone's gonna fall out of the iOD. It's so bouncy. The tires in this truck. I was thinking about the carnivore diet. And don't get mad at me. Take it easy on me. What a crap road. Everything's bouncing around.
Oh, God.
I ate.
That's his favorite word at the moment.
I ate good food over there at Ted and Jolene. I did not eat bread. I did eat some sugar. She made an apple pie. She did make brownies the night before I left. Had a couple of those. I won't lie. Who's not going to eat a brownie? They were cakey too. Oh.
All right. I want you guys going into this to hear how much he talks about poor old Jolene being his personal chef for 4 days. She's way too nice. I hope he paid for Ted's dinner for his birthday. I hope he could have at least sprung for that. But I have a feeling Tim Dutched it out. I don't even know what to say. But this poet's just... Tim, you don't come with what Teddy has. Follow up in the members only, because you'll find out why. Tim, it's going to be a while till you get Miss Jolene on your hands, till you take Miss Jolene from Mr. Teddy.
Everything she makes, God, that woman. Anyway, she made just regular good meat and potatoes and just good food. And I lost 3 pounds in the 4 days I was over there or so, walking, vigorous walk with her for 3.5 miles a day, plus my regular walking of just walking around. So I'm convinced that eating meat and potatoes, vegetables, just good food, and we didn't eat until she made it. There was no just go get something when you want it. She served breakfast, and I got a couple of lunch meat roll-up. She knows I'm trying to be conscious of bread, so she made Teddy a sandwich. She makes the best looking sandwich with Dave's bread you ever seen in your life. And then I just got the roll-ups with the ham, cheese, onion, and pepperoni with some horseradish mustard or whatever. The flavors, man, of everything. A roll-up, a nice big thick roll-up like that, 2 of them. I was fine. Then dinner, and we would eat at that same time every day. So what I did and when I ate and how much I ate with exercise, and I feel great. And I've been sleeping, really well too. Last night I went to bed about 10:30.
And how much is this to because I don't even know if Tammy even cares to watch his content. Probably not. She's probably busy with the grandkids, having a good time, their family, enjoying her money. And Tim is like, Jolene this and how much he does that and this, that, and the other. I almost feel like it's like a little bit of a pokey poke at Miss Tammy, because Miss Tammy was none of those things, Tammy and Tim were definitely and then he says something interesting today. I think it's in the Social Security video, I believe, where he talks about his having drunk and been a drinker and how he doesn't drink now. And it almost makes me think does drinking Tim, is the one that tolerates Tammy, and sober Tim doesn't tolerate Tammy? And Tammy don't tolerate Tim because Tim doesn't have any money now, because she stuck around and helped him out with his videos quite substantially when he was getting $58,400 EIDL payments made to his bank account for doing absolutely nothing in his life, just taking, I know he says he's paying it off. It doesn't matter. It's still wire fraud. He also obviously was getting a lot of benefits and money from his YouTube channel suddenly ticking up in that part of 2023. Like right around July, August of 23 is when Tim's channel really ticked it up a lot. And, Miss Tammy was there to ride kind of the good times with Tim, go shopping, take a look at all the trailers, go on these, different holidays. And that was prior to Dwayne passing. And once Dwayne passed, things kind of, a little bit changed. And Tammy just suddenly, was a lot less. And she kind of went out. Things seemed to kind of, be more strained in their relationship. So it's just interesting. It's just interesting. But I don't think she's watching Tim. I'm watching more than Tammy is.
A little bit on coffee. I took a sleeping pill.
My thought.
And I didn't get up till 6 o'clock this morning. So, that's 7, pushing 8 hours. I slept in a sleeping bag. There was wind going on. There was freezing weather going on. And I slept. So I want to keep on doing what I'm doing. Well, I want to be able to enjoy my life and eat. I know it's going to piss people off, but if I want a senior salad, which I love them. If I want beans, which I love them. If I want...
He's crushing it for Christ is going in a handbasket today because he is cussed and sworn and he is just all out here today. He's not like doing his pious, BSery that he does when he's Christian cosplaying as a prosperity minister.
Onion and stuff like that. Salisbury steak she made with that gravy, mashed potatoes, true mashed with lumps and peeling in there. I'm going to eat them. I'm just not going to sit and eat potato chips, bread. I indulged in her apple pie. She made a couple of desserts. She's spoiling Teddy and I. And
she's spoiling.
That pie lasted, 3 days.
She's spoiling Teddy and I. It was Teddy's birthday. Sorry, I keep hitting the microphone. It was Teddy's birthday weekend, Tim. You just kind of poor Jolene, doing all this labor. I know Tim moved some furniture, but he took off with the silverware.
Had it the night she made it. We had it with coffee the next morning. The next night for dinner, we were so full, we skipped it. We just had
Tim just eating apple pie, and he talks about dinner here. And okay, this is interesting that he talks about the apple pie that night. And that was the night, supposedly, the day that he supposedly went and met his son, I want to say, for lunch. And then they went to Teddy's dinner, and then they had the apple pie. Because I want to say that all happened on Teddy's birthday, supposedly. But then he's saying the next day they were full, and they didn't have the pie. How are you not full the day? I mean, just goodness me, Tim. I don't know if he met up with the son. I want to say that never happened.
She made this thing of yogurt with this granola on top. It's like cereal. Oh my gosh, it was good. Plain yogurt in a cup. If I could just copy everything she does. Oh man. So it made my life happy because I was eating that was good stuff. I lost 3 pounds. I'm walking like crazy.
I don't think Teddy worried about losing Jolene to Tim. Like Dwayne and Tammy, whatever they had going on. That started a long time before. Tammy wouldn't care. I don't think he's
both motivated to walk.
I don't think he's gonna get anywhere.
It was a beautiful place to be. I mean, it was just a wonderful 4 days. I couldn't be happier, and I did it all with pleasure. It wasn't like I was.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Vicky. I don't think. Miss Vicky also agrees in her opinion that they did not meet up in the end. He keeps skirting around that time frame, and only mentioned that the one time we never heard about it again. So if we didn't see it, didn't happen.
What do they call it? Gnashing my teeth because I was hungry and didn't have what I wanted and missing out on something and had to go to the gym and work out, which I don't mind, but that was I did go to the gym a few times too, by the way, to take showers, and I did a light workout, but a light workout every time I go to the gym. I don't go in there for no hour. I don't. But I do want to absolutely 1000% get my weight down another, I want to be 185. I think I'm 195. Well, I'm 196 or something now because I was right at 200 again. And 3 or 4 pounds came off of me. Eating like I did, doing what I did. So we did a little yard work around there.
Tim acting like Jolene's husband over here. Just like the third husband. The second husband. And she's not married to even Ted.
Some trees and took some palm fronds and stuff out to the road. We moved a couple of dressers and I had to use a hand truck. Just good manual labor around there. Clean my windshield here. Have to buy some more windshield washer fluid. So anyway, that's a story on my exercise and food. I just know that I'm not going to eat any sweets unless it's just like a gift or somebody made it and I'm going to indulge, but I'm not going to buy it. No bread, no chips. And I even had a couple of dill pickles there.
Oh.
All this stuff is not carnivore.
Oh, I don't know if the sitcom is truly run its course. If he gets caught up in if it's the IDL fraud, then we just got started.
But that walking, man, to that beach, that had to be what it was. That and a little bit of manual labor that I did. And waiting until it was time to eat. Not any snacking.
Yeah, I did.
So I just think that if you can keep your happiness that way, and that's easier to maintain in your life, then, that's sustainable. And these other things of just meat, butter, and eggs only. Corvette over there. Sound like some Ferrari or something.
So now Tim is talking about the fact that just eating meat, butter, and eggs isn't that great of a meal plan for him. Not very sustainable. No, Tim. especially if you're headed over to your friends' wives who are cooking, like Raffaella and Jolene. Because we know Tammy never cooked.
I don't know. It gets to be, I had that last night. I had the carnivore last night. I made a burger in butter with a couple of boiled eggs and mustard. And so while maintaining that too, like let's say, because I'm not a big cook, and all I can do is make myself a big hamburger patty or steak, maybe a senior salad if I want one, but if not, maybe a baked potato or a sweet potato or not, and stick pretty much with the protein. I think it's going to work. And there's probably a lot of other plant-based foods that I don't necessarily need to eat or care to eat. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. And I know a lot of people.
Why don't you talk to your doctor?
That are carnivore and they don't modify it and it's strictly carnivore and they believe they know all these things about how, foods are bad and plant-based foods will kill you and all these things will kill you. I know about it too. I've listened to it. At least I listen to it. Some people won't even listen. They're like, no, that's bull crap. You got to have your vegetables. You got to eat your this. Well, I've listened to it all. I'm open-minded. But I can tell you this.
Yeah, because fiber helps move all that stuff out your colon, Tim. And we're not carnivores. Have you noticed we don't have the dentition? You have to generally cook your meat. Otherwise, you would be sick. There's a lot of things that indicate that, and it's a very restrictive diet. And that's not to be recommended. It's very lowly recommended. It's not highly recommended, Tim.
I enjoy food too much.
Eating disorder.
When we went to dinner and I bought Teddy and Jolene and I the Cuban meal for his birthday. Beans and rice and plantains and this pork. It was freaking good, man. And I had
okay, so this is the Cuban restaurant. Let's hear what Tim says about the bill.
A coffee with it. That's what I drank, and a water. So 45 degrees.
Nothing.
So I'm checking out some Led Zeppelin here on iTunes music that I got for free for buying my iPhone.
Yeah, Tim's definitely not crushing it for Christ today if he's listening to Zeppelin, man.
For 3 months. They try to get you hooked on, for 3 months, or you'll forget about it and not cancel it. It's $10.99 a month. I'm likely not to continue it, but I did get a reminder this morning. I set way too early to remind me to cancel it. But I'm good until February 15th. So I set a reminder for February 10 to cancel it. And we'll see how I feel then. One thing I haven't canceled, and I'm not going to cancel, because I only watch YouTube now. There's nothing on cable TV. And I got this deal. You pay $8.99 a month to YouTube, and you don't get commercials on any YouTube video. You get them on music. You'll have to listen to an ad on.
Hey, Tim, you're going to have to include paid promotion or something. Advertising YouTube's premium service. Oh, goodness, Tim. Okay, keep going.
On music, if you play music videos. But no regular video does it have commercials. And I canceled it because I did cancel it because I first signed up.
That's why I don't think he was doing stuff with his son, because we didn't get like a random talk in the car video on the way there. I think he just stayed and floated around Jolene and the food all day. And if he was asked to move something, he did it and then complained about physical labor.
It was $12.99 or something. And Hilton Tom got it for $8.99. I said, well, screw that. You're ripping me off. So I got rid of it. And then when I investigated it again or something, I think they sent me an email. We want you back. How about $8.99? I said, sign me up. And then I found out that's not a promo. As long as I don't cancel it, I've got it for $8.99. Even Ted and Jolene said $8. It sounds like it's worth it. So they were going to do it. They didn't do it yet, but they're going to do it maybe. Because he watches a lot of YouTube.
Oh, gosh. Tim, oh, God. Make sure they subscribe to the channel.
He follows some certain channels that he likes on the news. And, it's always these commercials. And it's annoying. So I'm going to keep that subscription. But $8.99 and then $10.99 for Apple Music, which is not necessary when I can,
Oh, my goodness, Tim.
hear an ad or skip an ad.
I'm going to have to bring him out. I mean, how? How and why? But we did.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry bacon. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Ad. That's together, that's $25. I don't need all of those. but I do like the no commercials. But the Apple Music I'll probably cancel. It's good free, but not when you got to pay. All right, we're getting up here to the Nathan Benderson area, the shopping.
Now, I know that I pay a reduced amount because I'm a student, and they give you that for 4 years, and that's it. And I think mine's like $7.99 or $8.99 a month because I'm a student. I don't know about this with Tim and forever. He probably is full of it. Tim lies about most stuff, as we know.
Area, University Town Center area, and it is a Sunday. Always cars up here. Always cars. Okay, I'll turn you around and we'll drive you in. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Coming up here to the mall.
So that works out, what, a little bit over $11 a month, something around there, 10 something. Is that with tax? No, that's plus taxes. No, Tim's not paying it like, he's paying monthly. He's not doing a yearly, which probably has a discounted rate.
You can see that Old Glory over there blowing hard.
Well, I don't know. Well, cash money, who knows? Because Tim might have taken out a bunch of new debt because he just don't care. Oh, he tries to claim that he was debt free and stuff again today. Oh, God. Keep going, Tim.
That's not a good sign. It's always blowing too on that lake. It's going to be raw. I did bring that thing I wear over my face
Oh, yeah.
that you use for snow skiing or riding a motorcycle. I'm going to wear it.
Yeah, if you're a student, it's very simple. You just go in and put the name of your, school and your campus, and then they'll double check to see if you're, I guess in the role. Very simple, and they'll do it for 4 years. So yeah, check it out if you're a student.
And I'll put a cap on.
Save people money.
Like some robber. That's I-75 north and southbound ahead up there.
Yes, it is.
And here's the UTC mall to the right.
Thank you for the super sticker.
Where Nathan Benderson Park is.
That was very kind. I know. Thank you. We got just like slurping coffee. I'm actually slurping Earl Grey tea here, but I definitely enjoyed some coffee today. I needed the caffeine to deal with the fence. Oh my God. I'm just kind of praying it. The wind hasn't sounded so howly. But in a minute, I'm probably going to have to go check the fence. Thank you. That was really kind. I appreciate it. Goes to the fence fund. Hopefully no more attorneys, because it finally flashed up properly on my YouTube page that even though my video was removed for potential copyright on Tim's video, it was not eligible to strike my channel. So Tim is losing his power in getting strikes on me from YouTube, which is great. So so these things are going to have to eat at his, ability to control the haters, because he hates, I'm surprised we haven't had a big hater video lately.
A mile as we go through the roundabouts in the shopping area down through here's where all the Christmas lights are and everything. Weekends, this place is crawling with people. On down here, there's eateries and bars, whatever you want to call it. There's the Rocco Tacos right there.
Rocco Tacos.
They got their curtains down. And
yeah, you only ate there with probably with Tammy footing the bill. Tim doesn't eat out anywhere unless he's with other people. And he didn't even mention that so we know that he didn't pay for Teddy's birthday because he never mentioned it. Just couldn't even spring for it. And at some point, Tim did make a lot of money from this channel, but he just wasted so much money. Somebody left me a great post about how much Tim has probably lost altogether between the Honda and the Goldwing and the Dual Sport, and then just all the nonsense he buys. And now he's upset because that particular seat company wanted a restocking fee. So get ready to see that thing on Facebook Marketplace very soon. Probably at the original price, unused. You'll see it.
their heaters up.
He'll put the language out there.
Yeah. Makes it easier to sit out there. It's one roundabout.
He said
I see the Nathan Benderson
we
tower over there in the distance to the left. Straight on my left is the University Town Center Mall. There's Dick's over there to the right.
That's right.
And then here's
That's
the
right. That's right. I thought I had a memory about that restaurant. So it was very quick at the start of this video. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just accepted. That's where he got mad that the Diet Coke was so expensive. Oh, yeah. Got very upset about the cost because, you know, Tim will just drink water, but Tammy's got to have her zing, you know, and Tim doesn't even want to spring for that. Oh, he's awful. Just awful. You always feel posh drinking Earl Grey. I love Earl Grey, I have to say.
aquarium going to come into view. That big boat looking thing in the background.
Oh.
That I have yet to go in yet. $35, $40 admission.
Oh, God.
Got to definitely do that.
Oh, yeah.
And our final roundabout.
Okay. Oh, that was full on right there. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to bring out Judge because that was full on. Did you hear that? Oh, it's $35, $40. Can't wait to go there.
No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry baggage. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Yeah, because we've never seen Tim go anywhere near that aquarium.
To get over to Nathan Benderson.
See, this is how I know he didn't go see his son. Oh, my great. We get this shine of Tim's dirty windshield there. Keep going, Tim.
Man, I'm not gonna believe if I see anybody out there rolling or on that water. I think I'm likely to park today. Where am I gonna park? Oh, look at the flag flying on the top of the tower up there. Let's go on up over here to the tower and park, and let's just see if there's anything going on. This guy here's running. No one on the lake, and it's not too bad of a bump, meaning I don't see too much water on the wind on the water, making it.
He's still talking. I'm like hovering, as you can see. Like, is he going to finish that?
Probably not too bad to
We're about to do a membership giveaway,
too. A cyclist and a walker all bundled up. I've got a hoodie, I've got a face shield, and I got a hat. I am golden with gloves. And I'm going to walk around this whole thing for 3 miles. I'm even going to park up here on the top plateau. Look at that van right there, that Toyota. Man, that's a nice van.
This is why we get the same stuff, because this doesn't cost him any money to go to Nathan Benderson. It doesn't cost him a dime.
50, 60 grand for that thing. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that ride and the conversation. All of you out there that always thumbs up my videos, greatly appreciated. Very, very much. Crush it.
Oh, Tim, try begging for views. All right, I'm going to give away. Hopefully I can. Let me see. Gosh, because it's the start of the month. Let me see. Can I give away now? Are they going to let me give away? Okay. Yay! Okay, I'm back at the beginning of the month. Okay, so good luck, everybody. Irish Eyes. I'm always crossing my fingers for you. And we're going to watch some new videos. So, Thomas Winter, you got a membership. Bad Choices. Vicky Lynn, Impress Me, Grifting for Dummies. I don't know how Irish, I don't know why. You're always here, and I know you said you hit that button. Make sure you did. Yeah, well, I don't know how you didn't get one, Irish Eyes. We're going to make sure. I don't know how. I'm almost feeling like you need a lucky shamrock, Irish Eyes. I don't understand. I promise you. It's random. It's a random poll. I don't choose. Oh, yes. Welcome you. All of you who just got that. If you're here today, you'll get to join me and find out some of the other stuff we got going on in the background with Tim. We just got a couple of more videos to finish out here. Let's get through these quick. All right. Here's Tim freezing at the park. Okay, go, Tim.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim. All right, I might have went a little bit overboard because I'm already starting to perspire, close to perspiring, walking with first long johns on underneath, silk long johns, uppers and lowers. Then I have my pants, and then I have a garage shirt, a button-down shirt, and then I have this hooded cotton hoodie over that, and then another jacket, this black one, over this. And then I'm wearing some long white socks with my Merrells.
No, that doesn't sound like comfortable. That just sounds like trapped heat. That's why you got to have a good winter coat in the cold weather. You don't have to be like in 16 layers, you know, and suddenly you just get a flash of heat, you know, with that good stuff that, you know, regulates temperature.
Oh, you're welcome with short pants. Unbelievable. So I'm about ready to come out of maybe the hood. I don't know. I just kind of opened it up. I'm not ready to come out yet, but I definitely feel my legs starting to tingle as I'm trying to walk fast.
Wasn't he the king of the 10,000 steps all the time? And wasn't he running in the summertime and just like walking constantly? And yet when he went out with Jolene, he sounded completely out of breath. Does that mean that he just like all that went to the wayside? Thought he was hiking up in the mountains in Georgia. I mean, we saw that he was. Tim, you lose fitness very quickly.
Like I have been. I'm going all the way around this lake, all the way down I-75 and back to the truck. It's at least 3 miles or more. I'll get the 7,000 to 8,000 steps in. That's my goal. But yeah, I'm starting to feel my upper area here. I definitely warming up from the walking. But when I got out of my truck, I said, what else can I put on? Oh my gosh. I see people walking with no gloves, no hat. Oh yeah, the sun's out. It's nice. Probably can lose the gloves soon. Go ahead and unzip this black jacket. I'll end up taking it off, I'm sure. And just walking with the hoodie on, with the gloves off.
Yeah, 4 minutes of Tim's wardrobe decisions.
And then maybe the hoodie unzipped. I'm unzipping this now. Coming out of that. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and unzip this. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't keep that heater down. It's coming on. Remove these gloves. I'm gonna sit down up here and make a little video of something I've been thinking about that it's time to talk about. But first, let's get some steps going. Oh yeah, I'm warming up by the second. Now that heater's out.
He's going to go out like Martin Lawrence did that time. Tim. Do you remember Martin Lawrence went out with like some type of like suit on for like wrestling, you know, to help lose weight? I think he went out running in it. He got super overheated. He almost killed himself. That was a long time ago, but I remember that one.
I take these gloves off.
That's some old time. Old.
I'm undressing in front of you. Put these in my pockets.
Well, he's got
Take this one off now.
Woo. He's got the heated Goldwing suit, which means he can be out riding in the cold weathers, but we don't get any travel. It's just, remember, he got a suit that heats up so he could drive on the bike and be warm. He got all his stuff. He's got so much stuff. I get stressed shopping and spending money. It's like, to me, it's like, so watching this man just buy all his stuff is actually can be quite stressful to see.
I got to carry this all around with me. Hang on. I was shaking around. Sorry. Oh gosh. Yeah, now I'm gonna have to lose this jacket. Yeah. With the thermal underwear on, it creates so many layers, which is the key, right? Layers. The wind's blowing behind me. If I were to turn around, it's blowing out of the north. I'm walking south. I can feel when I come up the other side of the lake, which will be about another, 20 minutes or so, at least that long before I walk that way. Maybe the temperature will come up just another degree or two. And it won't be so bite you, but I can always put everything back on and walk into it. When I was first started out, I thought, man, why didn't you put that face thing on? I brought it. I got to take this jacket off, I think. And we're going to sit here and make a video about something I want to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
I might do it right
here. Tim, instead of... So, Tim was somewhere over here, I'm guessing. Wasn't he over on that side? So maybe he came across the little bridge and come on down. Trying to figure out, because then we could get like a 20-minute Social Security video. So you got to think what happens. He doesn't have any water on him. So I want to say, because wasn't he coming into this area? I want to say with all this area. So this is where Tim was. Okay. So Tim was over here and parked right over here. I don't know if... Can you see what I'm pointing at? Probably. I'm pointing and nobody can see what I'm pointing at. So let me do it over here. So Tim was parked over here. Hopefully you can see my little thing. So over here. And I think there's like a little walk bridge thing. So he's come up around here. And he's then come on down. So he's maybe done half a mile? Maybe? Looks maybe not even half a mile. That's not even half a mile. Maybe a third of a mile. It might be maybe a third of a mile. Maybe. Not even that. It might be a quarter. It's not that much. Promise you. One thing I know is how to distance because I ran on the road for a long time. I'm very good at having a like running and kind of having a general idea of how many miles I'm going without even having to look, just because I'm knowing my pace and certain things. So I'm pretty good at eyeballing. He's not that far. And then Tim he says he's going to sit down and he has an idea for a video. Just think how far Tim had to, he already worn out, guys. That's my whole point. He already worn out.
Here, let me take this jacket off. Crush it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I had to point that out because it's important for the next part here, which is, let's look at the comments. Tim's got 12 comments. He's losing subs. Not even 1,000 views in 4 hours. I mean, it's just him walking, chatting. All those clothes look brand new. And what does Tim say? Rear hanger, never used. He's trying to say that he hangs this jacket looks like he stopped in the Walmart. That jacket doesn't look like anything he had before. Probably stopped over at Dick's and bought something. God, he just can't help himself. You know, like I finally broke down because I got some jeans and they were on sale. Some Levi's. I hadn't bought jeans in like I don't even know how many years. And I felt guilty even then because I need to save up for a fence. So Tim and priorities and me and priorities, we're two totally different bedfellows. All right, guys, we're coming in. Tim is, he just rents his clothes. Yeah, he doesn't even rent them. That would be a fairer market. Because at least if he did like Rent the Runway or something, like one of those clothes rental services, he would have to pay for the fees and the cleaning fees and all of that stuff. This way, he just uses them and gets them back for money. He just free rents. Because he probably doesn't keeps the tags on and gives the stuff back. That jacket probably still has a tag on it. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yes. We are definitely gathered here to witness the BS Tim is spouting. Because you can't wear jeans. They seem hard. The seams are irritating to your skin. Well, now they're making them nice and big and loose is the fashion. So I got a big old pair of loosey-goosey ones. They're kind of cool, but I had to wash them because they're going to have to get washed a few times, I think, to get the dye out. Okay, Tim. Get ready, guys. Is collecting Social Security early in 2026 still a good idea? And every time that Tim lies, okay, I want you to drop. We need to think of something good in the chat. Just drop a 1. Just drop a 1. So when you hear a Tim lie about something from his past or something about his Social Security, or you think you hear Tim saying an untruth, a big old white lie, drop a 1 in the chat. Because we're going to hear a few today. Yeah, RIP on the carnivore diet. Yeah, 1 already. Hey, Tar Heels, we're having started.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Sarasota Tim. I'm coming to you, believe it or not, versus the way I'm dressed from Sarasota, Southwest Florida, below Tampa. And these are clothes that you never see anybody wearing in this part of the state. But stranger things have happened. There's even talk of snow in the panhandle of Florida. I hope the wind isn't too bad. I want to talk to you guys.
Tim just start of the month. January done. Tim is seeing how much or how little he made in the month of January. That he needs to pay for all these things he's got coming up. And, you know, all these insurances and all these different things, all this fun travel. You know, when you only get 9 miles to a gallon on a truck, you're going to have to really, you know, get some videos out, you know, and he didn't do a lot over at Teddy and Jolene's because maybe they have, you know, a restriction as to how much he can film over there. Yeah, he's on a roll today, but keep going, Tim, because, you know, not having a microphone on while you're doing your Social Security spiel just seems real professional.
This morning about Social Security. A couple years ago, I made a few videos regarding collecting it because I decided to take it. I needed it, I wanted it, and I got it. And this is 2026. And I collected it at 62 when is the first earliest age you can collect. And I just turned 67, or what they call full retirement age, where I really wouldn't get much more if I would have waited until this year. You can get a little bit more if you wait till you're 70, but that's just kind of ridiculous. So a lot of people do wait. Most people don't.
I don't know. I don't know if those are the right statistics. I think he may be right on that one. I don't know. Has he been watching Dr. Ed Weir? He should.
I ask people all the time that are older that, you know, look like they're 62 or older, if they collect their Social Security. Yep, sure do. And I'll ask them, did you collect at 62? And without fail, most everyone says absolutely. There's a few that said, no, I waited till 67 or 65 or 64. Or some people like didn't even know they could. There's always different reasons.
Oh, this one's got all the hits. All the hits in it. You know, he wants to criticize everybody else for how they make their living. So just get ready. It's pretty blue sky.
But vast majority of people got it at 62. So the question is, you know, the big thing is you can get more money collecting Social Security. I got it. You can get more money if you wait until you're older to get Social Security.
Well, yeah.
So you get less money by taking it early. So you get more check, less money and more checks, or you can get more money and less checks, unless you live to be a phenomenal age, which isn't likely. So if you do the math, the long story short, everybody knows, they've seen my videos. If you collect those.
Well, Tim, wasn't Fred just like 86 and Teddy 79? Wasn't like Fred 86 or something years old? That's why he's not really driving as much. I mean, that seems to be a pretty decent age, Tim. That's a pretty long amount of time to have a reduced amount of money on Social Security, especially with, you know, I think in this, you know, you got to talk to your financial advisor. There's many factors involved. And the thing that always is not explained by Tim and is more important sometimes when you're single and solo is you may be somebody who does need to work till longer because you need to have your health insurance. You don't have a spouse who potentially is providing health insurance to you through their employment. So there are other things. And Tim is just really not good at explaining how just even, you know, financially, how expensive retirement is when you're single and solo. And he just tries to always paint this, you know, oh, I'm just living the best life ever, because Tim's just a lying SOB. But, you know, he's so, you know, he's not talking about any of the real impactful costs that you may want to consider as you're single. He just thinks you should be getting this free government money because we know Tim loves free money, especially from the U.S. taxpayer.
Security early, you will collect a lot of money by the time you're full retirement age, north of $100,000. Like I've collected over $108,000 in the last 60 months. I just turned last month 67 years old. I have collected 60 Social Security checks. They have deposited into my bank, which is well north of, you know, $100,000. Like,
He could get his channel in trouble with YouTube. If you hashtag and you hashtag inappropriately or use too many hashtags. YouTube, and now YouTube has more AI that is cracking down on like different types of channels and cracking down on when people don't have their content as it should be. You know, being able to detect when somebody is abusing a copyright system like Tim, and you know, copyright strikes against channels as Tim has done against mine. You know, their AI, fortunately, that is one bonus about that. It can start because there's so much content, but they are getting rid of so many channels too. It's just incredible the amount of information that YouTube as a platform handles and manages. And that's why they really do need to have artificial intelligence, and probably why human review is just it's an overwhelming task in regards to all of this content.
$8,000, something like that. There's been some increases over the years, but nothing really worth talking about because they always increase the Medicare Part B when they give you a little bit more in your Social Security. But after the pandemic, there was 1 year, about 3 years ago, where we all got a 4.6, 4.7, whatever it was, increase in the COLA, cost of living adjustment. And it worked out about $100 to $150 for most people, which was really what they should give us every year. But the question is, and what this video is about, is if I had a do-over, or is it still worth, if you're turning 62 in 2026, and inflation now and everything else, and as far as money goes, is it still worth considering drawing your Social Security at the age of 62? The very soonest you can do it. And by the way, if you're going to be 62 and you want to do that, you need to sign up 3 months before you turn 62. That's the earliest you can actually apply. That way, when you become 62 and a month, you've got to be 30 days over 62 years old. I want to block this wind. I should have brought my mic. You've got to be...
Well, of course, Tim, but you're just such a professional, you know, and YouTube isn't your prison job today. You know, at least I'm sitting here in the warmth of my condo, you know, with my puppies. My biggest struggle, obviously, is my fence, which I probably should go and take a check. I've kind of haven't heard the wind howling. So I'm just like, trying to just like, you know, hope it's going to stay up. I tell you, I'm not fit from that today. But yeah, Tim is just had to make content. I guess he doesn't want to, you know. I mean, I'm glad we appreciate the view, but it's just so unprofessional when you're talking about a very serious topic like Social Security, Tim.
Month older. So a month after you become 62, you will get your first deposit. So let's talk about it. I've already collected $108,000, well north of $100,000. Plus, I've worked part-time for the entire time. I never stopped working. I didn't work in the beginning. I had some savings. I started collecting, and I just played around for a few months, and I just kind of got bored. So I started out doing a little side hustle. That's what I call it. I was working, I mean, really part-time. I'm talking less than 20 hours a week. I was working, doing some little...
Oh, gosh. We've got the resources to blowtorch stuff off of the city stuff. That's wild. Well, actually, I saw a consumer report recently about the best first-time home buyer cities in the entire United States, and there 2 cities came in 1 and 2, as you know, for quality of life and affordability and access to services and green spaces and this, that, and the other. And the first supposedly best place city in the whole of the United States is Chesapeake, Virginia, which is the city I work in. And then the second best city for first-time home buyers, and Tim, I don't want you anywhere near me, okay? Because I know you'd be a first-time, sweetheart, is Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I'll bring up that report in a moment and share it with you all. But I found that funny and interesting. Keep going, Tim.
Side hustle. But once I got a little taste of getting, I mean, $100, $200, $500, $700, $800 a month more into my pocket, into my bank from when, you know, just besides the Social Security, I said, man, this is great because this is the increase that we need. And it's like I already got $1,800 coming in. Now I'm almost to $2,800, $2,500, and I'm not having to work. This is great. And of course, I always tell people 2 things. One, first of all, let's just get this out of the way. There's only one reason not to collect Social Security at the earliest time you can. There's only one, And that is, if you're making so much money and you love your prison job, then you just keep on doing what you're doing, because there is an income limit for the first 5 years that you can earn without a penalty. So,
Oh,
but if you hear me out, that penalty is not a big deal at all, especially if you're self-employed. Secondly, is only one of the reason is you're making a lot of money and you love your prison job, and you don't.
I know, this is what Miss Vicky just. I know this part just grinds your gears, Miss Vicky, when he says this. If you just love that prison job, you know, Tim, you know, there's a cap, you know, and then you're giving money back. So, and then there's the healthcare part and portion, and there's also the people might, you know, enjoy working. I kind of, it's surprising. I was watching this thing about, you know, sort of Dutch habits. You know, people from the Netherlands. I was like, oh my God, I have so many habits that seem very Dutch. I was like, didn't realize and I have no Dutch blood, so that was fascinating. And I don't think the English being specifically Dutch, like in their, you know, activities, but it was certain things about, you know, wanting to, you know, reduce the numbers of days that you work. It's not about having huge amounts of material wealth. Like the Dutch aren't there, they don't like to show off. Like it's, you know, it's not considered something that's very big as part of their culture, like rolling up in a Ferrari, or if you're at a family function or something of that nature and you say you have to leave to go to work. Like in the United States, people almost like wear that like a badge of honor, like, oh, you know, my job's so important, you know, I gotta go to work, you know. It's like everybody does everything to work, except for Tim, of course. Whereas in the Netherlands, if you did that, that would be very considered to like really like unusual and not part of their culture. And I definitely would be of the respect of, I wouldn't want to leave a good time to go to work. And I definitely, you know, don't feel that I need to, at this age, be working 5 days a week. I work 4 days a week. Well, at the moment with the weather, I don't. But then I come and do my YouTube. But anyway, Tim, you've never worked.
A lot of debt.
That's my whole point.
You do not. You can't. There's no way $3,000 a month wouldn't support you. You've done got yourself so much in debt. You got so many payments, all the way up till you become 62 years old.
Yes, you can see that paper in his good catch, Lance, in his sunglasses. So Tim was watching his little YouTube stuff last night, probably watching who knows who he's you know, and this is what kills me about Tim. He never credits the creators that he takes all this information from. He never credits people. At least, even though I don't necessarily credit him, I mean, I have his videos and you know where his channel is and where this is coming from. It's obviously Tim's. And obviously, if I've used any videos or articles or anything of that nature that's not Tim, I have always ensured to link that in the description box in order for people to find it and to give Creative Commons attribution, as they call it. So to let you know, to give credit to that creator, to be able to then use it under fair use. And Tim is obviously never saying, you know, he never gives credit. He kind of talks sometimes about these, you know, dual dorks or anything. Would you ever see those videos linked in his description box that he had been watching? This is where he is a terrible YouTube creator. He strikes channels. He doesn't understand how reaction world works. He is using the YouTube copyright system for malicious purposes. I mean, this guy, it doesn't credit people. Probably watched a bunch of other like actually informed Social Security people, because I know there's been a lot of this out as a topic, because inevitably when we talk about this with Tim, I find this in my feed. And I watch Dr. Ed Weir anyway to kind of keep up with it, because I talk about this with Tim, even though I'm probably still some years away.
Have all kinds of payments you owe. You got this debt. And unfortunately, that's probably true with a lot of people, probably millions. And you can't have that. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So those two reasons are two reasons that you're going to have to stay in your prison job and not collect your Social Security. But if you were smart enough to get your debt down and you didn't have any bills and all your money that you brought in
Yeah.
just covered your
Yeah.
basic cost of living. You know, you're going to have either rent or small mortgage. You're going to have your car insurance. You're going to have your food and your utilities, clothing. You know, you're going to have certain.
Well, that's one of the things that they suggest, which is one of the reasons why people might find themselves having to work till later in life, is people are also becoming first-time home buyers later in life, which means that it could, you know, that 30-year mortgage, if you're not buying your first home until you're 40, well, that's 70 years old, and that's only on one mortgage. That means you've never, you know, moved or upgraded a home in that time. That's a huge amount of time that people aren't doing what people used to start at, you know, decades ago in their 20s, you know, in every kind of generation we see it gets, you know, later and later. So another reason why potentially you may need to work till, you know, a little bit later. How you decide to work though, Tim, is the point that you don't seem to fully understand. You assume that it has to be a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. You don't seem to understand that there is flexibility in how people work. That's part of the modern age, Tim. It's very old school.
Expenses that nobody can ever get away from. It's always going to be there. And unfortunately, those things have increased with inflation, like food. Food is probably 20% more than it was 5 years ago. They talk about inflation being 2%, 4%, 8%, hogwash. Everything is about 20% more in 2026 than it was 5 years ago. That's a tremendous increase and a tremendous decrease in your dollar. Not to mention that the value of the dollar is crap. So you say, man, that's pretty negative. You definitely wouldn't want to collect Social Security then at 62 in 2026, would you? Because look, even if you got 1,800 or $2,000 a month like I get, what's that going to buy? Well, it's true and it's false. It's true.
1,800, $2,000 a month. He at one point had 1,700. I don't know. We always have questions about that, Tim, because you said you earned as little as possible and paid as little amount of taxes. So it doesn't make sense that you could get 1,800 at 62. You would have had to be making, you know, $80,000, $90,000 a year, which means you would have had to be showing that on your taxes. No way you were paying taxes on that much money, Tim. You said you wrote everything. It just, none of it makes sense.
It doesn't buy near as much as it did 5 years ago, and it won't 5 years from now, the way things are going. So you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. You still must be debt-free. You still must work 20 to 25 hours a week doing something that you like, not some prison job that you never liked your whole life, that you had to do, you know, to make good money because you didn't have any other money coming in, and you had a lot of debt. People do what they got to do. But when you can choose what job you want to do, what hours you want to work, and if you want to do a side hustle called self-employment.
Well, I'm so excited that you are a new member, because after this video, we're going to take a short break just so I can get my puppies outside and do their business and, you know, get me another cup of tea. And we will be rolling with the members only. So give everyone a break and then we'll come back out. It's not too much, but it's a little bit. If you can tolerate me for that much today, guys.
Your income can be actually a lot more than what you're
excited. Thank you.
leveled at doing when you were a W-2 person. If you got some kind of skill set and you know how to work for yourself, which most people do, it's not that difficult. Your AGI, or your adjusted gross income, is all you have to report to be under the allowable amount of income. So you may have a lot more deductions if you are self-employed. But even if you have to be a W-2 person and go to work as a greeter at Walmart, and you know you're bringing.
Okay, here you are for the greeter at Walmart. Tim, you couldn't even get a job at Aldi because you don't have a high school education and no actual like real work history that they could look at.
At $1,800 a month, but you've got your overhead down. Now I live in an RV, and I live in an RV park. I don't owe anything on my RV. I don't have car payments. I just have a low RV rent.
Well, you don't owe anything on your RV, Tim, because the American taxpayer paid for it. And so you're full of lies here too, unless that was just the YouTube money. And then you probably didn't pay taxes on that either. So goodness knows how much you really owe the American taxpayer for all your fraudulent tax filings, probably. You certainly probably write off, you know, every, you know, coffee and piece of crud that you purchase for, you know, and show on you every part of your life. Probably even you talking about Irish Spring soap. That's probably talked about a shower, right off, you know, propane gas, right off. I went to get, probably why he filmed himself going to get propane gas. So now he can say, well, that was my content. I got to write off the propane gas. You know, who the heck knows? This guy, And so when you have that, you don't have any income showing, really. Because you're trying to lower it down to nothing. So you pay the least amount of taxes on it. And it doesn't make any sense with him. I know, because that's what I'm going to have to try to do to get through this tax season myself. Make sure I include everything that I really did use, sit down and, because I wasn't, last year, I don't even think I bothered to write the 1 year because I had so much anything. I just didn't. Sometimes it costs more to file for the business and all the separate things than it is to, take the tax. But this year, it's different this year.
A lot rent, which does go up every year, but it's $1,000 under, at least almost $1,000 under what anyone in America is paying for a efficiency or even a one-bedroom apartment. It's ridiculously cheaper. So to me, that works for me. Other people want to live. They don't want to live in an RV. They can't pay cash for an RV. They got to make payments on an RV and the lot rent. Well, that's not going to work. You might as well just stay in a sticks and bricks or living where you're living. Or you can roommate. You got to figure out how to get your...
Tim, you supposed to have $300 a month on that SAB. And it's still wire fraud.
Your nut, I call it, your overhead down. You can't have debt. Okay. And then if you get your Social Security,
can't have
I
debt.
don't care how much things cost today.
You can't have debt. This is Tim. Hold on a second. Okay. Because when you were 60 or 61 in 2020, at the start of 2020, because that's how old I think you were, and because you were not quite able to get Social Security. So you had to have about almost a year of no ability to do that. And in that year, you took out unemployment and you took out PPP money, followed by you then collecting Social Security, and then you then thinking around that time too, that just before I'm thinking in 21. So that would have been after you even got Social Security. Obviously to supplement your income because you had all that debt and stuff, you got $58,400 in EIDL, which paid off personal debt and paid for a bunch of other stuff. So you never were debt free, and you still pay $300 a month on the EIDL. And then so all of this is because, one, you took out taxpayer money. Two, supposedly you're getting some weird amount of Social Security that just doesn't make sense for a man who says he filed as little amount of money as possible. None of it makes sense, Tim.
Nobody is promised tomorrow. So if you say, well, like they used to say 5 years ago when I had some pushback from people, oh, well, you could get $500 more, more if you wait till you're 67. Look what that $500 is buying today. I'm 67. Nothing. Now, what is my 1,800 buying? Even less.
And that's a good point you bring up, Bertie, about the camper and it getting not working well. Can't be towed due to maintenance issues. And he's had some issues. And so him talking about pulling out in the camper and just traveling, I think is not possible, which is why I almost feel like he's talking about the truck and the bikes and just taking tents and going out west, because I actually don't think that trailer is probably, moving it around. He already has issues with the awning and stuff. I don't think it's going to be that easy just to move it around, because he's been living in that thing. I think he's yeah. If Tim had invested his YouTube windfall money, he could have moved beyond Social Security advice and provided investment advice. Well, I think he tried that route, but Tim is just a wild spender on just useless stuff. So, but he also had used all this money to purchase that $60,000 truck. He lost money on the F-150. Remember, he traded in the F-150 to get the 250, but he had to have lost money on the trade. That was one. And then he had the Honda. He's probably almost lost half of his YouTube money just from the trade up. The Flagstaff, the only reason why it was the price that it was because he got the Microlight and then he traded that in with that money to get the Flagstaff. And that was all money that he had from the EIDL. So that's just taxpayer money. None of it is coming from any of Tim's hard work. He was absolutely, and to use Tim's terms, broke as a joke when the pandemic suddenly hit. He said he was scrambling. All he had was no savings and debt. And he and Tammy were, at some point, went to that Manor Loop apartment together. I mean, he was scrambling until that video went viral. Oh, you should have heard him. His videos before that, he was all like talking about, shopping low income and all this other stuff. His total tune changed.
I am bringing
Obviously,
money
when he
in
got a
and I
bunch of
have no
money.
debt. So it's 6 is one, half dozen the other. The main thing is that you're not promised tomorrow. And another thing that has changed, it will change for you, even if things went down in price, even if you didn't get rid of your debt, even if you got rid of your debt and you did everything else we've talked about so far, one thing is not going to change, and you're going to be older. You're going to be older, and you're going to be fatter, and you're going to be slower, and you're going to be weaker. You're going to be sicker, potentially. Not guaranteed. You could actually do better. In fact, there's a great possibility you can do better. In fact, in half of those categories, I am better than I was.
Please drop a 1 in the chat, because Tim I don't think so. He's not better at his vision.
62. And the other half, I'm not as fast as I used to be. I'm a little heavier than I used to. No, I'm thinner, or about the same. I think as good as I used to. I think better, actually. I've trained myself on more positive thinking, and I look at life differently. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and
Oh, no!
I just trust in Him to supply all my needs. And I really have quit drinking, and so I'm healthier in that way. I'm coherent. I'm not inebriated ever, which I used to be quite a bit because I used to drink. I used to enjoy it.
See, this is where he talks about the drinking and stuff. This is the part where I'm thinking like he's trying to say that his drinking was what led him to the bad Tammy choices.
I wasn't like one of these under the bridge, drinkers or an alcoholic like that, but I wanted to drink too much. And that's not good for your liver. That's not good for your life. That's not good if you go out and get behind the wheel of your car. You could lose everything. You get one DUI and your life's over. I don't know how these people that say they've had 2 or 3.
And I agree with that. Keep away from the non-beer though, Tim.
But anyway, you can go up and you will definitely go down as you get older. You're going to look older and you're going to get older. And so many things start to happen, just like when you own a car and you get 50,000, then you get another 50,000 on. Obviously, tires are going to need to be replaced. Brakes are going to have to be replaced. A clutch goes out. The air conditioning stops working. Like owning a home. After a while, things have to be replaced. Well, when it comes to your body and you have a stroke, or your hips go out, or your knees go out, or your eyes go out, your hearing goes out, and all the other hundreds of things that people go to the doctors for that are mostly up in their 60s and rapidly increasing from 62 to 67, you have to ask yourself, is it worth $1,000 more a month to get my Social Security 5 years later when I waste my time of continuing to work?
What? For a man who never really worked, he really got some problems with everybody else working. Maybe he heard it too many times when he just wanted to go out and play. I got to work. And now he sees all these people who said that they had to work sitting around with their supposedly broke joke boats, And Tim just got lucky. And then he tried to act like he was all that in a bag of chips with stolen taxpayer money.
Which is accelerating these ailments. The stress at work, the laborious job you could have, the cost of going to work, the miles you're putting on your car, the lunch money, the dry cleanings, the stress, the crap, the distances, and everything else that you've got to go through, and the time you lose of freedom.
Yeah, Tim Reaper's come out, guys. We know that. It's the Tim Reaper time.
40, 50 hours a week, every week, year after year, for 5 more years of your life. And then you decide to call it quits. And now here you are.
40, 50 hours a week. See, he has no idea. He has no idea. No idea. Could I work 40, 50 hours a week if I wanted to? Absolutely. I'm sure my employer would be very happy if I wanted to work 7 till 5, Monday through Saturday. They might tell me I'm a bit crazy. I'm going to get worn out. But if they have patients and we need to have nurses and I want to go like that crazy and they're prepared to pay my time and a half because they want to, fill the contract, then, after 40 hours, I'm getting, time and a half. But I promise you, I don't feel that. Would it be great to have money? Yes, great. Yes, obviously. We all know that. I've worked those types of things as an RN back in the day, It used to be that, if you wanted to get something new or something, you just worked a ton of shifts. But then, unfortunately, the cost of living just started to go up exponentially in this country. It really has, like, to the point where that extra money was just covering the extra bill, cost of the bills rising. It wasn't covering like the new fence like it would have done back in the day, So it is, but so I don't think encouraging people to be on something as restrictive as just Social Security, and then encouraging people to leave potentially a employer to come out of employment in a time where there's huge amounts of age discrimination too, to get some low paid like Walmart greeter job. It's not going to pay very much. So how is that? And then probably having to work so many hours to make up for the downfall. None of this makes sense, Tim. You're only talking about this if people had pensions in place. This is very old advice. It certainly wouldn't be good, like I said, for most single people. Very few. You would have had to really been planning and hope that nothing ever, threw a wrench. And sometimes people have had that. I have friends who've got, inherited huge amounts of money from their parents are divorced. And so when the mom passed away, instead of it going to the dad, like it traditionally would, it actually went over to the kids instead. So I've had some of my friends have become much wealthier because of inheriting stuff. I don't have that type of advantage.
You had to quit because you either had a stroke or you got the gizzard problem or something else started going on. And now you're going to get this extra $500 or even $1,000 more a month on Social Security. But all your motivations, all the 5 years, that's a long time. All the 5 years of being able to go and see your family, your grandkids, go out west, see the mountains, see the Colorado Rockies.
I don't want to preach like Tim, but this is just not anything that just makes logical sense. Would we all love to just kick it out and, think that, a little bit of Social Security and a little shop job could be enough to cover bills nowadays? Yeah, that doesn't happen nowadays. It's a very different world. I certainly wouldn't want to put somebody into economic instability at 62, unless you're so beaten up by your job, just so beaten up.
Go north of North Carolina, which I've never done. Go to the Adirondacks, go to the beach, read a book, plant a garden, get you an RV, do some traveling, buy a motorcycle like I've done recently, and want to, reboot my youth again and travel on a motorcycle and do some moto camping and just doing what I want to do without having to ask anybody, check back in. I only got a weekend off, a 3-day weekend, or it's finally time that I get my week vacation. I waited all year for 7 days to go by in a blink. You take a cruise and it's back to the grind. I mean, you want to go year after year after year when you're eligible at 62 in 2026 to get a free.
Oh God, here we go. Hold on to your horses, everybody. See, Tim doesn't realize that over time, if you're with a business and you stay with the company, that your PTO increases, like you don't have to do as many hours to get more PTO. Like it changes and stuff, Tim. It just doesn't get it. Doesn't get any of it.
Check. That's what I call it. You worked and you did all your life what you had to do. You were going to do it anyway. You filed your taxes. You worked for somebody. And when you did that, you made yourself eligible for Social Security. And they look at your life and they say, all right, your best 30 years were this much money. This is what we're going to give you for the rest of your life. Okay. Every Wednesday, second, third, or last Wednesday of the month at midnight, we're going to deposit into your bank $1,800. And you're like, wow, it takes me 10 days, 2 weeks, 1 week, whatever it is at my prison job to make that. That's 1 week, 2 weeks less a month. I have to work there. That means I can cut my workload in half. And I only have to work 10 days to 2 weeks a month doing something else to make half as much because I'm getting the other half replaced for free by the U.S. government giving me my money.
Oh, no. What about my money, Tim, that you took from the U.S. government? If this is a guy who had to put out 4 videos today, okay? I think YouTube is your prison, Tim. Always forever going to chase that big view video. And he still gets views, so I promise you. He probably makes more money still from that video than any of his others.
And I paid in. And you're going to just let it sit there on the street and on the table and not collect it, and then decide when you're 67 that, oh, let me get it now. I'm going to get that extra 500. And guess what happens? Let's say you got another 1,000. Let's say you died before, or you got such ailments that you can't even leave the house. You couldn't drive anywhere. You couldn't ride a motorcycle. You couldn't do anything. You're just going to sit there and draw money. Well, what good is that? So here's what I say. The 5 years that you wasted not doing anything to get this extra $500 or $1,000 a month, that you could have been living.
Tim, that starts to be quite substantial, as you become older, and that's also more years that you potentially, if you have a job, that's the one thing, I'm able to, if I worked more hours, would it increase potentially, obviously, my Social Security amount, because it's your best over a certain number of years. So I still have a number of years where I'm still, in my higher earning years to add to that pot. And that's the other part of the portion you always forget, Tim. And that's even, with me not working full time. If I wanted to work more hours and get all the overtime and stuff, I could really make a lot more money. I'd be exhausted and really not enjoying life. And so I do understand you do need to have that. Everything isn't always about money, despite how expensive everything is. Despite me thinking, oh, shoot, I really want to bump up the Social Security at this point, I'm grateful always to be able to be still working and having a job that I enjoy,
You're wasting your time, I think, by going to a job. So this is what you need to be doing. You need to be thinking about collecting that Social Security at 62. You need to start living your life, checking out of that prison job, that 40, 50 hours a week, and start working half that and start living your life, because you're going to be laying in a chair or in a bed one day and you'll be saying, you know what, if I had a do-over, I would have
I'm about to say, Miss Vicky, you probably travel more than Tim. With that prison job you have. I don't travel because I have dogs. And it just, I traveled a lot when I was younger, and the older I've got, I don't sleep well in hotel rooms anymore. So to me, it's just like not worth traveling anywhere. It's like, I'm going to be like so worried about the dogs and stuff. My idea would just be, I'm very much enjoy a staycation at home. I'm all good with that, because I'm one of these people who just like make the decision that I'll eat at restaurants that week, and I'll just enjoy it in my home area. I traveled a lot when I was younger, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much.
My Social Security at 62, and I would have, lived my life. I would have done things. Now I can't, because I had a stroke or something happened. And that's exactly what is likely to happen. The chances are exponentially.
My time going to work. Yeah, drop a 1 for that one, because like Tim talked about the fact he like stopped working sometime in the 90s, pretty much. So I don't know when, he just battles against the world that actually has, is he jealous of people having actual real work too?
That in your 60s, especially after 62, that things will start to develop. It's just like once you go over 100,000 miles in a car, it's very, very likely that something's about to wear out, that you're going to have to do it, whether it be your house, your car, your body, whatever.
Well, yeah, but that's why we try to teach people about keeping an eye on their blood sugars or their blood pressures, or making sure that they do make better choices. Sleep is really important. That's one of the things that I really need to get better about. There's so many things that you are able to do to at least try to, make the aging process less, stressful, I guess, that you're aging well. There are ways to do that, but Tim, you're not enjoying your life any more than the rest of us are. I have a blast. I look forward to going to my job. I don't like the drive because it's long, but ever since I've not had to have the stress of school, which I'm going to have to get back to that. I'm almost done, guys. I'm so close. Having that along with work has been massive. That trying to do grad school and everything and all the rest of it, along with, trying to hopefully get this little channel started. It's been, that is an overwhelming amount of stuff to try to sometimes manage. Tim has no idea. Tim doesn't know how to really work.
And so do you want to live your life? Do you want to say, well, I worked, all the way till 70 or 67, and I collected Social Security for 2 years, but I couldn't do anything, and I couldn't even
and Tim is obviously, were you so proud to be a car oil change coupon guy, Tim? That was a great Paul story. I mean, some people actually enjoy what they do. Teddy told his whole story about his engineering, and because Teddy worked hard, Teddy now sits on that property. That's not where you're sitting. You're sitting on the bench at Nathan Benderson Park alone, telling us all how the rest of us how to live, which I find just absolutely just mind-blowing. How people just feel like, especially in our age group, like people don't have it figured out. I mean, gosh. I mean, I know there's people that Tim makes them feel better and stuff, but come on.
I was like, had this problem, and then you die. And people talk about wanting to, work longer to help their spouse out. Well, just so you know that if they don't wait until their full retirement age, they're not going to get this big check that you're making that you want to leave them. If they collect it early, they're going to take a haircut on what you waited to get. So, think about that. If you don't know about that, look into it. People think that when they collected at 67 and, they got a younger wife or whatever, and then they die, that their wife gets this extra money. Until she reaches that full retirement age, she's not getting all that. She takes less,
Oh, okay.
So there are spousal benefits and things like that.
I guess that's from Miss Tammy's experience. That's how he knows that one. Because I'm guessing because Miss Tammy had a part-time job. So I'm guessing she then claimed on to Dwayne's as, the spouse or whatever on him. I'm guessing. I don't know. I try to focus on single people stuff because I'm single. I don't worry about the married person stuff too much.
It's different. Or, if you're still alive and she wants to draw on you and she hadn't drawn hers yet, that's another scenario where the dollars change. But I mean, hell, let's talk about your own life. You got your own life to live. That's why after you've paid your dues, you've supported your kids, you've supported everybody, you've provided your time to that employer.
Paid your dues and supported your kids. Darling has a lot of videos about how Tim has not supported his kids. So check out Darling's channel. I'm sure some of you have seen those videos about how Tim is definitely not winning Father of the Year or Grandpapa of the Year.
Your life, you made them rich, you did all this. When is it your time? When are you
going
to do something for you?
time?
When are you going to stop feeling guilty that you can go out and just live the life that you want to live and do what you want to do?
That definitely needs some ones in the chat, because that's got to be some of the wildest stuff I've heard. You got to wait till the end with Tim, because he just goes on a tangent. They're talking about how he's got to live his life now. It's all about Tim now, because he worked and did so much for everybody else in the past. Yeah. Okay, Tim, you keep living your life.
And that's what I'm doing now. And that's what I promote anybody should do as soon as you can. So am I saying wait in 2026 because things are expensive and look at what's going on. There's such crazy crap happening. Who knows what's going to be, in our future anyway. It's not about whether Social Security will be around or not. That's already questionable too. But what's going to be, tomorrow? What can happen? Every day you turn on the news or some new story, a new crazy idea, a new thing going on. You just don't know. When we woke up that day in March of 2020, they said, go home, sit down, give us 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and ended up being, basically for months that they did this big reset called a pandemic. So look, folks, you don't know what can happen today. You don't know if you got hit by a bus tomorrow. You don't know if, you wait.
Tim, that was the best thing that ever happened to you financially. You had not a penny to rub together, and you were getting ready to hit that 62 Social Security. You wouldn't be living in that RV probably, or have a truck. One of those things would be gone, because some of those things are what YouTube purchased, and you probably paid barely any taxes on that, because we know how you are. And then the rest of it's American taxpayer, that you pay $300 a month on that, and you had $58,400 deposited in an account that you paid No tax on probably. You probably didn't show that as any income, though you probably were supposed to. Because it was a business, you know, for payroll and stuff. So technically it was income. And you're supposed to show certain amounts of that within your, at least you're supposed to show it that you received those monies. I would love to see one of Tim's tax returns. Because I had to show that sort of stuff. I know certain things I had to show when I was doing my taxes with stuff. Because I had a $1,200 SBA loan. $1,200 for my business, comparatively to Tim's, $58,400.
Pick up and you feel something and you go to the doctor and he goes, hey, yeah, you got it. And there's nothing we can do about it. So why gamble any of that? I say, you see a $5 bill on the ground, don't let it lay there and think tomorrow it could be a 10. Pick it up, put it in your pocket. When the government says, you know, we'll give you more, we dangle a little sugar on the end of a string to get you to wait so they don't have to pay you as many checks. Don't go for that. It's a scam. You get what's yours when you can get it. And you get out of that debt and you start living your life and you just start crushing it.
Oh,
hey,
you get out of that debt and you start crushing it. Tim, the reason why you got out of debt, sweetheart, is because we have the video that you say it was that taxpayer money that paid off all your personal debt. So I know you keep wanting to double down on that stuff, and it's going to bite you it's going to bite you one day, I promise you. So that was the last video that we got from Tim. So who knows what he's up to now, guys? He's obviously, you know what he's doing? He's cold. He was outside. He did whatever. He can't go in Walmart anymore. So he's probably enjoying his YouTube premium, I would say, and getting his you know, his next script for his Social Security video ready, without crediting anybody who he watches, because he's one of those guys. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to let this one end here because I've already stolen so much time, and I am going to come back out in a little bit for members only. So I've already got it pretty much set up. So I am going to plan so that everyone can get a break from me. And if you want to join me, I'm going to set it for 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be tonight, just so that I can have a moment to get the puppies out and get their dinner, grab me a little bit of something to eat, and then I will catch you on the way out. Yeah, hit those likes on the way out. Thank you, Sammy, for all of your support. Thank you all for just the awesome support, being here, liking, commenting, subscribing, listening to Tim and his wild stuff, because he's just on a roll, guys. I promise you, we're going to get him on a roll, okay? Because we're getting towards this February. The moon, okay, is starting to wane, okay? We're getting into a waning time with the moon on our lunar cycle. And Tim's had to leave Teddy and Jolene's. And so I think we're going to potentially get some raging videos. I mean, he could get some good ones coming out soon. If we get lucky, we could get a rager. So I'm looking forward to it. But yes, 6:30 this evening. I think that gives me enough time to do everything. If it gets pushed to 7, I'll let you know. But I'm planning between 6:30 and 7, around that time. I just need enough time to get the dogs out and for me to eat and, you know, that sort of stuff. And check the fence. And thank you for all your fence donations and everything. It really does help. Oh, I got to deal with that. I got to get that sorted out. It's an impetus to sort out the taxes. Okay, guys. I really appreciate you all. Hope you're all staying safe wherever you are. And if you haven't checked out YouTube Premium, it's awesome. You get free movies as well. So they do movies as well. So that's one of the bonuses I've noticed. So yeah, I see you. And like I said, those of you who are members, I will see you all in just a little bit. Bye. I'll tell you what we're going to catch up with just to excite you. So we're going to catch up with what's been going on with the petty lawsuit stuff. And it's pretty exciting. It actually is quite interesting. And then we're going to look a little bit at Teddy and Jolene and who they are, and why Teddy calls her the $2 million girlfriend. So we're going to be taking a little bit closer look at Tight Pants Point and some interesting history. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. So that's going to be members only. So we'll catch you on that one, guys. I appreciate it. Bye.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.